Quran.
For you to say that there isn't a distinction between every gospel. Eastern Orthodox Christians believe that every gospel has a separate teaching, right? And but by the way, when the video starts off, I just want to tell everyone, when the video here starts off, we're talking essentially about the gospels and what they are, right? And I'm explaining that every single church has a different understanding of what the gospel teaches, right? And he was essentially trying to reject that. This is why even Eastern Orthodox Christians actually full-on 100% agree, right, that there are both Eastern and Oriental, that there are contradictions between these different books. To use this to say that it's all synonymous with one each other would actually be contradicting not only what the Orthodox Church's position is, right? I would have to assume that you're now arguing from the standing of a Catholic or a Protestant position, in which case it would be arbitrary for us to argue about the gospel, because then we would not be able to stand on a grounding of what the gospel actually means. Now, you failed to address the point that I made, which I said, first and foremost, it's arbitrary to argue upon this topic because we have different definitions of what the gospel is initially, right? Whether you're a Protestant or a Catholic, I do not care, right? Orthodox do not seem to agree with this position of yours anyway. But we would say, right, is that this prophecy is clearly mentioned, like I said, in the Old Testament, and we could provide Jewish exegesis that pre-existed Christianity, actually, that directly says that this refers to any non-Jewish prophet. So if it's any non-Jewish prophet, Jesus is not part of the list. I'm sorry to break it to you, but Deuteronomy 18:18. What's up? Anyone got a comment?
No, I was about to ask. You sound a lot like someone called, I think his name is pronounced Itisham.
I have no idea who that is.
He has a channel, Answering Christianity 1. I think you've heard of him. I thought you might.
No, I don't recall anyone of that name, at least.
All right, never mind. I'm just waiting for the guy to say something.
I would like to comment something. This is a point that you'll see Jai later in the video, not too long after, maybe a few minutes after, blatantly misrepresents in a very very truly embarrassing way, right? And he essentially fails to cite, right, Igras et Yemen, right? He fails to cite the Rambam properly, and essentially saying that Deuteronomy 18:18 is only talking about a prophet from the nation of Israel. But as well, right, the Rambam doesn't necessarily say this in Igras et Yemen. You'll see this later on in the video.
That's it? No further comments?
Now we're good. I'm waiting for this genius Christian to say something genius.
All right, let's see. It's not refer to Jesus.
10 minutes left.
Yo. Okay, thank you. Is my timer starting now?
Yep, go ahead.
Okay.
I just want to say now, watch how he avoids literally everything I said, right? Watch this.
So, first point, the source that you quoted, I'm imagining you just like start Googling madly church fathers quotes on the gospel. If you actually read what's being said here, read the quote, read the exact sentence that you just semi-quoted, you picked out that you thought was agreeing with you. Any definition of the gospel is the good news of Jesus. It's not a book itself. The study of the gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, is the study of books, these books that contain the good news. So
you see that?
Yeah, it's nothing to do with any point made about Deuteronomy 18:18.
You said the word gospel doesn't refer to a book. You said the study of the gospel is a study of the books.
We were mind you, like I specifically told him that every church has a different gospel, has a different teaching about what the gospel is saying, right? And I told them that they would disagree with your position that you're taking, so I would have to presume, since you're making that position, you're not Orthodox, you would be Catholic or Protestant. And I told him that it would be arbitrary to argue on the New Testament part, and I was trying to get him to move on to the Old Testament. Because then if we can't reach a foundation of what the gospel is trying to teach, then it would be arbitrary to argue upon it. And he just dodges that. He, instead of addressing the question, he just says, they're all one book. No one made an objection to that.
I mean, it's not technically true though, but okay.
Yeah, even
Even
then,
then, it's a completely meaningless statement. It is complete. It actually is the definition of diversion.
And the thing is, it's not all one book, by the way, because it isn't called like the Gospel of John, Matthew, and Mark, and Luke, and Paul. No, they're different Gospels, and they're all distinct.
They're all distinct and written at different times. The idea that they're all in harmony is a later idea because they're all in conflict with one another, so they can't all be the same book anyway.
Yallah.
Do you understand the difference between something that contains the good news and the good news itself? Okay, so so the Quran, first of all, never makes this distinction between a written book and a spoken message, which is the Christian definition from the beginning, which shows that the Quran.
Because the Quran does not hold that the Gospel and the Injil are the same work. Where does the Quran say that this is the Injil that was written by the Sahaba of Isa? Where does it say that this is the Sahaba? Oh yes, Matthew, as-Sahabi Isa, the Sahabi of Isa, right, wrote this, and John wrote that. No, it just says Injil.
Yeah, but
Injil is just anything that Jesus warned of, that Isa warned of.
But you have you have a part in the Quran where Allah says that the Injil was a revelation given to Jesus, and then you have other parts where Allah says that the Christians have to judge, whether or not the prophet is prophesied based on the Injil, the written text given to him. It doesn't explicitly lay out these criteria, but it does basically say it. It makes a distinction between the Injil that was revealed and the Injil that they have. So I don't know what book he's been reading.
The thing is, he tries to bring up the Quran as like a methodment of answering the question. When I'm directly just telling him that, listen, all of these have different teachings. It's arbitrary for us to argue upon this. I'm trying to make the argument more productive by moving toward the Old Testament. And then he starts mentioning the Quran as if it's some sort of factor. It actually does, by distinction, tell us that the gospel is given to Jesus and it's in the understanding of what Jesus has preached. When it refers to Injil, it essentially would refer to gospel of Jesus, not gospel of Luke or gospel of Matthew or gospel of any of these other guys. And so I think it would be ludicrous to say such a thing.
Doesn't have divine origin because it has no idea what it's talking about. But secondly, we can move on to Deuteronomy chapter 18, since you want to go there. And you think that you have sources that predate Christianity on Deuteronomy 18:18, talking about non-Israelite prophets. So my first challenge to you is from Deuteronomy chapter 18, verse 15. Can someone post chapter 18, verse 15?
Yep, here we go. Let's pull it up. I'll put a bit.
Deuteronomy 18:15. Okay.
You see how he changes? He's now trying to point towards 18:15 because he realized 18:18 says something that actually supports my point.
The Lord your God.
All right, let's go here.
The Lord your God will raise up for you a prophet like me from among you.
See, that's not even 18:18. That's 18:15.
Yeah. I want to point out something as well, right? I know that the chapter as well does reference Israel. However, when it says from among you, there is no essentially allusion, right, to the specificity of the nation of Israel here. It was, according to Genesis, right, it is illegal. First, I want to make this out, right? According to Genesis, it is illegal to have a complete census of Jews. You are not allowed to count the entirety of the Jewish population or attempt to, right? So essentially, what we do know is that there were 600,000 Jewish men, or supposedly 600,000 Jewish men. Right? Well, I wouldn't say supposedly because it's in the book of Numbers. 600,000 Jewish men present at Sinai, right? They all were between the ages of, I think, 20 to 60, right? They all, or I think it was either 20 to 70, right? They all wrote down their names and essentially information about them to prove that they could be reliable witnesses, right? And then they essentially testified to everything they witnessed them on Sinai, and their names and their information were transmitted throughout the generations. Now, the thing is as well, throughout aside from the 600,000, there were also the Erev Rav. The Erev Rav in Hebrew literally means the mixed multitude, right? Now, essentially the mixed multitude were the non-Jews who were referred to as the foreigner among you, right? who came along with Israel out of Egypt with Moshe Rabbeinu, with Musa alayhi salam, with Moses, right, all the way up to Mount Sinai. These were the ones that also worshipped the Egel Hazahav, right, meaning the golden calf, and many of them died as a result. However, we must understand there were at least 1 million of them, right, after, like at least above 1 million of them after the plague that was sent down, right, unto as a punishment, as a result for worshiping the Egel Hazahav. So essentially, when it says from among you, he could also be referring to as well the Arab, the foreigner among you, for example, along with Israel.
So the believers, or even like the righteous Noahites?
Well, some of them would also be Gerem Toshav. There could be Gerem, Gerem Tzedek, and there could also be Gerem Toshav, meaning righteous foreigners, and then righteous foreigners, and then Gerem Toshav, or like Noahites that live in the land of Israel or live among Israel.
The thing is, I want to know if this is a translation issue, because it says from among the Israelites in the NIV.
Well, no, because it doesn't. Well, here let's go to the text itself here.
Okay.
So the thing is, it says essentially from among you, right? It says from from among you and from among your brothers, right? So here, then in verse 15, the Lord your God will raise up for you a prophet from among your. It says from your brothers, right? Right? Like myself, and you shall listen to him, right? And in 18, it says, I will raise up a prophet for them from among their own people, like yourself. I will put my words in his mouth, and he will speak all that I command to him. So, essentially, I'm not saying there's not an implication for Israel, but we can also understand this as people who are from the mixed multitude as well. Because indeed, many people from the mixed multitude became complete converts to Judaism. There's a distinction between, in Judaism, right, and in the Tanakh, is present in the Tanakh as well, there's a distinction between a convert and a born Jew. A born Jew is called an ezrach, meaning a citizen, and a convert is called a ger, meaning a foreigner. Now, there are two types of gerim: a ger toshav, meaning a non-Jewish foreigner, right? And this non-Jewish foreigner would be, what would be the equivalent back then, like a Noachide, right? And there is a Ger Tzedek. A Ger Tzedek means a righteous, foreigner, right? And essentially, they are obligated to follow all the laws of the Torah along with the Jews, etc. So,
the thing is, I was going to say that even the ones that say Israelites in terms of the translation are only Christian-based sources. When we're talking about something that predates Christianity in the video, clearly. First of all, I think NIV, I'm pretty sure, is a Christian exegesis understanding, and New Living Translation is Christian exegesis. JPS Tanakh, however, says something different, right? It's a book that some Christians, at least to my knowledge, prescribe to. It says, I will raise them up, and it directly translates the Hebrew, by the way. So it doesn't add anything that has to do with Christian narrative. Yeah. It says, I will raise them a prophet from among their brethren, like unto thee. So it doesn't say from their brother, it says from their brethren like unto thee. He says, he's gonna raise them up a prophet from among their brethren, like I did with you guys. Right?
So it could be like one of the Israelites, or like I did with the Israelites, but not an Israelite.
The word kmoini, the word kmoini, right? In verse 15 is kmoini, in verse 18 it's komoch, right? Now kmoini is essentially, it means like me, but the thing is that it's not really like yani, it's not really it's not really in my demos, right? It's not or doimeli, it is not similar, it doesn't say similar to me or like me in style or in essence, right? But what it essentially does, what it does imply is that essentially that he will either be like me or you will listen to him as you've listened to me. That is essentially, what it can say, what it says here. The only way to really read it as, the prophet will indeed, be like me, is if you just read it with the presupposition that the prophet indeed will be like Moses in every way, shape, and form, instead of the prescribed meaning, which is in the verse in of itself, which is, you will listen to him like you have listened to me. Secondly, I want to continue, right? There were prophets who were also Ger and Tzedek, and this would imply essentially that these prophets can come from non-Jewish nations in origin and then become Ger and Tzedek, become converts, such as the prophet Obadiah.
Awesome.
Yeah. So his point, he makes a later point about Muhammad, which is a response to something jihadists never said, which he ascribes to jihadists. We'll get there, by the way. We'll get there. Let's go.
It is to him you shall listen. So the phrase, from your brothers and from your midst, I challenge you to show me anywhere in the Hebrew Bible where those specific phrases refer to anybody outside of Israel.
He doesn't even talk about
brother,
18.
Hold on. Jihad this. I want to point out something. Your brothers can also be Gerem Tzedek. There are many, the majority of the Erev Rav that survived, they did not worship the Egel Zahav, were Gerem Tzedek. And the ones that weren't were Gerem Toshav. So even though these people are your brothers, so once again, it still could be people from non-Jewish nations who are also listed as foreigners. So for example, and I'll give you an example just because I don't want, for future reference, if you want to see an example of, the sort of foreigner legalistic category in the Tanakh, you can find the sword bearer of Saul, the sword bearer that killed Saul, right, upon Saul's will, was called the son of an Amalekite foreigner. And the words used is, it's a, Ger Amaleki, meaning, once again, an Amalekite foreigner, referencing a conversion or becoming a citizen of Israel. And so, yes, from among your brothers can still reference people who come from non-Jewish nations in origin.
The thing is, even then, he's not even talking about 1818 yet. I just wanted to point it out. He's talking about 1815. Because he said your midst, and as far as I know, midst is not referenced anywhere in 1818. It's only referenced in 1815, and that points towards.
Well, no, midst is actually is referenced in both verses, but even then, it's still an irrelevant point because essentially the word used is mekerev, right? Mekerev once again can as you see in the. For example, the angel Lord in Exodus, where it says, "My name is in him," it literally means my name is, in the midst of him. Shmi bekiloi, right? And this essentially just implies association, though. This implies association. So even then, it would not contradict the point that it can be a prophet from a non-Jewish nation origin who can become, for example, a Ger. If anything,
right.
It corroborates that point.
All right, let's continue on and see.
From your midst and from your brothers. That specific phrase. That's it for my time.
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead, Jihad.
Okay. All right. So, first and foremost, I think I found it silly that you just read it as face value because, as far as I know, Christians are supposed to create exegesis on it. Now, as far as I know, in 1818, let's take a look here, Deuteronomy 18:18 in VC chat. Let me just capitalize the D so it could show up. Deuteronomy 18:18. It says, from among their brethren. See, I cap him on his attempt to lie, right? Because he tried to say that it says yours only. It doesn't say.
Hey, wait, is Neo gonna show up in this video?
Neo? No, I don't think Neo.
No.
Is here,
No. But yeah, go on.
Your. It says their brethren. So who's their brethren? It's certainly not talking about Jews. And I said Deuteronomy 18:18. I don't know why you guys mentioned Deuteronomy 18:15. That shows dishonesty, actually. Because it seems like if we take a look at the Jewish exegesis on this, it actually refers that the nation of Israel in it is singular. So it's not talking about an Israelite. Why do you think the Jews reject the Christians when they talk about Deuteronomy 18:18? In fact, they would laugh, mainly because it does not talk about a Jewish prophet. It's talking about all non-Jewish prophets. And here we go. Let's pull up for you, right, the direct Jewish understanding of that in here. 18:18. Jewish exposition, and we will shed light on this understanding one. What I proceeded to do was send him what Maimonides' thoughts were on the verse itself. Yeah.
I want to mention something as well. Hold on.
That it refers to.
I want to. This also could refer to Bilam. And the reason for that being Bilam Harasha, right, who indeed was a prophet at one point and was stripped of his prophethood and then condemned to Gehinnom, to hell, right, as a result of him trying to curse the nation of Israel. It mentions here, right, in verse 20, okay, it says Achanovi Asher Yuzid the Berdavur Bishmi Ice Asher and Loitzivisiv, right? As and Lidabar Asher Yidabar Bishim Lakim Achairim, sorry. Imais Hanovi he, right? And it says, by any prophet who presumes to speak in my name, an oracle that I did not command him to utter, or who speaks in the name of other gods, that prophet shall die. Now the thing is, right? Essentially, the Bilam Arasha indeed was going out essentially to curse the nation of Israel, right? He was going out to curse the nation of Israel and point against God's orders, okay? And essentially, and I want to ask the question, right? He is indeed a prophet, okay? He was indeed a prophet, and essentially, why would it mention here this specific verse in verse 20, right? Where why would it mention that this prophet could potentially say something which is erroneous, right? If this person claiming to be a prophet says something erroneous, he will surely die, right? And now essentially and now I want to say there's no other reason to mention it aside from the fact that essentially this person who could be renowned as a prophet prior, renowned as a respectable person prior, could possibly fall from grace, right? I mean, it could also hold the meaning of false prophets as well, but I would want to mention in essentially a speculation, honestly speculation, but in mentioning of a future prophet, an allusion to the fact that this is able to happen to him if he has the Yetzer Hara, the evil inclination close to him, right? That he may indeed die, right, as a result of him essentially, displeasing God, right, or doing something that he did not command him, right? I believe as well that essentially this could hermeneutically refer to Bilam Arasha as a result of this, because this was indeed a part of his nature.
I mean, does it also say that you'll listen to him? Like you'll listen to him? It's like if it's a false prophet, then he wouldn't be saying you're going to listen to him.
Even then, every ancient reference to Balaam considers him to be a non-Israelite, right? So even then, like his point still wouldn't stand on two legs, right? Because even if it mentions Balaam, it's still objectively referencing a non-Israelite, which doesn't invalidate my point. Because my point is just saying, it says that there's non-Jewish prophets, and we tend to believe and hold that to be true, that it's talking about Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, right? And he can't conceptualize that around his head. So instead, what he says is that no, this is wrong, and then he fails to provide an exegesis that actually combats this. Right? We'll see later on in the video here. For now, I'll just play it for the sake of timing, because you got to keep in mind that we have like 2 hours ahead of us.
Of course, let's go.
To any non-Jewish prophet. Furthermore, it would necessitate from teachings of people such as Rambam, right? The Rambam. Here's where I mentioned the Rambam, right?
Yeah.
Notice.
And here's where he makes a mistake.
Yeah.
Not you, but him.
That Deuteronomy 18:15 and Deuteronomy 18:18 are not even synonymous, Jay. Right? So you don't even know what you're talking about when you're bringing up Deuteronomy 18. So when I say these words, just so I could be clear, because I heard a lot of people don't understand the clarification being said here, is that 18:15 is talking about Israel itself, the Banu Israel, right? And 18:18 is talking about not people who are not Banu Israel. 18:18, right? And you keep issuing these little.
All right, jihadist.
Hold on, I'll go a little bit over time. You can. Oh yeah, that's the moderator.
Is that Diego?
I thought it was that's Diego. Yeah.
Diego, if you're watching this when it's uploaded, right? Please. I know this happens later in the video, but just please continue.
Okay.
The thing is, this man Diego, right? He's a follower of Sam Shamoun, right? And what I found hilarious about this is that this individual Diego, at the end of the moderation, when I start asking the moderator to essentially force Jai to answer the question because he keeps avoiding it and the topic's going nowhere, instead he just flips over to Jai's side because they're both followers of Sam Shamoun, right? Here, let's continue on. You have the extra time.
Okay.
You could go with these flimsy tirades and talk about Deuteronomy 18:15 and try to look. I even give him extra time to answer my points, right? Lead from the topic, when I've clearly said Deuteronomy 18:18. Ishmael, even in the Bible, was promised a great nation, right? And it talks about the prophecies being fulfilled near Mount Selah. Mount Selah isn't in Jerusalem.
This is referring to Isaiah 42.
Today. Unless you're really that bad at geography, it isn't in Jerusalem. The one thing that is very specific here is talking about their brethren. Now, I challenge you on one simple thing, right?
This is where I ask him to bring exegesis. Yeah? Every single time, وَقَسَمًا بِاللَّهِ, for the rest of this 2-hour video, he dodges it.
Jay, I have to do something, so I'll be back in a few minutes, all right?
All right, bro.
All right.
Challenges to me, and they're usually just flimsy and arbitrary and literally non-equivalent false equivocation fallacies. I'll challenge you something very specific. I challenge you on the following. I dare you to bring me one Jewish exposition, okay, from Deuteronomy 18:18. One, from any Jewish sect, okay, that says their brethren refers to Israel, okay? Because even in the Hebrew
All right,
language,
jihadist.
it's actually...
It's too much.
I'm almost done.
Just wrap up, like really.
I will, because even in the Jewish language, it doesn't talk about their brethren is not even talking about Israel. And by the way, may I request that we just cut this time thing, because I think it's.
Here's why I request the time thing to be cut, because Jay, I noticed that Jay from here on out will not be answering my question.
Did he mention Igeras Teman? Yes or no?
No.
Okay, because I have a good thing when we get there. Go on.
Be honest, just kind of a hindrance, right? We're not getting our points across.
Okay, Jai, do you agree?
No, let me respond first.
What's this? This is genius Jahil Jai.
Okay, so I find it funny. I find it really funny that you appeal to Rambam out of all the people you could have appealed to. I'm guessing you've never read an ounce of what he wrote on this topic. I'm guessing you've never read any of his work on Deuteronomy 18. I'm guessing that you have no idea what you're talking about, and you're just assuming ignorance on people. That's why you're spewing these things. I'm going to post you guys a link to the Rambam called Igreret Temen, which means the epistle to Yemen, where Maimonides, the Rambam...
This is the one where it says Rambam essentially insults the prophet, even though that had literally nothing to do with any of the points I brought up.
He makes an erroneous point here as well, but you keep playing. He makes an erroneous point because I've already ghosted him. I have the exact quote. Hold on. I have the exact quote on my screen, by the way. But keep going.
So
what's up, Jason?
Is the point here that he insulted the prophet, therefore he doesn't think that Deuteronomy 18 is referring to non-Jewish prophets?
Yeah, that's what he's trying to say, essentially.
That's completely idiotic.
Hold on, buddy. Here. Wait, keep playing. Hold on. Keep playing.
Self refutes the notion that Muhammad, whom he calls the madman, that's what he calls him. He's writing in Arabic. He says Majnun. He calls Muhammad Majnun, and he says the Mohammedans, the Ishmaelites, claim that Muhammad is written about in Deuteronomy 18:15, 18:18, and he goes on lengthy in his treaty to refute the idea.
Right.
Point for point.
Pause it.
So
I want to mention a few things. So what Jai is doing here, okay, is that he's claiming that the Rambam here in Igeras Teman, right, is now saying, okay, that essentially the Rambam, and so you'll see that he later implies this as well, okay, that the Rambam was also saying that that essentially the prophet could not be from a non-Jewish nation, or could not be essentially originating from a non-Jewish nation, which is not true in the slightest. And I'm going to read to you the quote. To save time, I'm going to read it in the English translation. Now, essentially, it says, in your letter, you mentioned the apostle has spurred on a number of people to believe that several verses in the scripture to allude to the madman, meaning El Majnun, such as Bin Me'oid Me'oid, which is Genesis 17:20. He shined forth from Mount Paran, which is in Deuteronomy 33 verse 1. A prophet from the midst of thee, which is Deuteronomy 18:15. And the promise of Ishmael, I will make him a great nation, once again, Genesis 17:20. These arguments have been rehearsed so often that they become nauseating. And here, I'm not going to go through the entire thing as well, but here we do not see that the Rambam indeed says that this means that the prophet could not be from a non-Jewish nation. The Rambam does not address Deuteronomy 18:15 throughout the rest of this paragraph, and to my knowledge, not others without the entirety of Igros Teman, right? If this is not true, and somebody has more knowledge than me on Igros Teman, from anybody wishes to refute me on that, go ahead. But throughout this entire paragraph, no, he does not discuss Deuteronomy 18:15 again. What the Rambam is talking about is that he is talking about generally Muslim polemical talking points about the Tanakh, which I myself have refuted and debated many times using arguments from the Rambam, right? And others, another Rabbanim as well, who refuted these points. He is talking about essentially the verses which many Muslim polemics at the time, in an attempt to convert Jews, would use to prove that Muhammad is here and there in the Tanakh. All that the Rambam is saying here is that these are essentially rehashed talking points that have no meaning. They're completely nauseating and tiring. He's completely attacking the usage of the argument. And what he is saying is that it is not, he's saying that it's not Muhammad in the slightest. Now, Jai was, like I mentioned before, was making a point, right? And then ascribing something to jihadists that jihadists never said. Jihadists did not say the words throughout the entire recording, right? That essentially that this verse was referring to Muhammad, right? This is not what was said at all. What Jai, I'm going to repeat myself again, what Jai was trying to say is that the Rambam saying that this cannot be Muhammad means that it is also not a prophet from a non-Jewish nation. This is not the case whatsoever. As I've just read to you the English translation, and throughout the entire other paragraph, we see no allusion whatsoever to that being the case. Now, I have another thing from the Rambam about Deuteronomy 18:18. This is from the Mishneh Torah. One moment. Okay. This is from Mishneh Torah, and let me get the exact quote. It is from it's from Hilchos Yesadei Torah, right? Where in English means foundations of the Torah, right? And Mishneh Torah was a work of the Rambam, right? It is actually his magnum opus. It is his most important work in Judaism, in legalism within Judaism, halakha in Judaism in general, right? An extremely beautiful piece that was delivered unto the nation of Israel by the Rambam, right? And still held and studied intensely into this very day. This is what the Rambam says about Deuteronomy 18:18 in Mishneh Torah, his magnum opus. If it be so, wherefore is it said in the Torah, I will raise them up a prophet from among their brethren like unto thee. Indeed, not to establish a religion is he to come, but to command concerning the words of the Torah, and to warn the people not to transgress it. As the last of among them said, remember ye the Torah of Moshe Rabbeinu, Moses, my servant, in Malachi chapter 3, verse 22. Now, and he said, likewise, if he command us concerning secular things, for example, you must go onto your place, or do not go, join the battle to this day, or do not join, construct this fortress, or do not construct it. Now, essentially, we see here again, okay, that the Rambam, in his magnum opus of Mishneh Torah, once again, is in his repetition of Deuteronomy 18 or Deuteronomy 18 from Igros Teman, right? That work as well, we do not see that the Rambam is saying that the prophet could not be a Jew. But also in this work as well, we do not see that, which is his magnum opus, we do not see that he is also saying that the prophet could not be a Jew either, or from a non-Jewish nation, or originating from a non-Jewish people, right? Now, the Rambam also says, and let me quote for you one second, he also says this in Mishneh Torah as well. Let me get the quote. Here we go. Maimonides understands prophecy, not as a Jewish phenomenon, but as a human phenomenon. It is I'm quoting somebody else who wrote about this, by the way. This is from a shiur made by a rabbi posted on Sefaria. It is one of the basic principles of religion that God inspires men with the prophetic spirit, right, with the Ruach HaKodesh in Hilchos Yesadei Torah, which is the same book in the Mishneh Torah, chapter 7, verse 1. Understanding prophecy, then, is a part of understanding man, who is a part of this world. Maimonides explicitly states in his Epistle to Yemen, which is the same book that's which is in Igros Teman, right, which is what Jai was quoting. The reason we do not believe in the prophecies of Zayd and Amr, right, is not because they are not Jewish. Many people have had this erroneous idea. For Eov, Job, Eliphaz, Bildad, Zophar, and Elihu all received prophecy, even though they were not Jewish. 1 second.
It's literally just a ridiculous claim that he makes. I'm going to continue on with the video here. See what he says furthermore.
I just find it funny that you, a Muslim, is appealing to the Rambam, who literally spends paragraphs in his treaty to describe who the Messiah is, to debunk this idea that Muhammad is written about in the Torah.
I just wanted to say that he said something that's ridiculous just now, right? He said that this verse, the Rambam said that it refers to the Messiah, and then he said number two, he said that us Muslims try to use the argument that Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is the Messiah using this verse. What?
Fake
hold
news.
on. Wait, I want to mention something as well, because I'm sorry I had to cut out for a second. I didn't finish the quote from the Rambam. That is a very hilarious point, though. But anyways, for Job, Eliphaz, Bildad, Zophir, and Elihu received prophecy even though they were not Jewish. A prophet is believed because of what he says, not for reasons of lineage. So once again, the point that the Rambam was saying here, this is not a prophet from a non-Jewish nation, does not exist in any of the sources that he cited.
Right. Here, just so you
also, hold on. I want to mention something as well. Did he say? Because I had to cut off for a second. Can somebody tell me if he said which verse did he say that this mentions the Messiah?
Yeah, here. Yeah, let me show you.
No, what verse? What verse? Did he mention 15 or 18?
He said 18 references the Messiah.
According to the Rambam?
I think he said something about.
Hold on. I can't. Wait, hold on. I can't find the Rambam's quote about him saying that this is the Messiah. All commentary that I found so far relating to Deuteronomy 18 in general, coming from the Rambam, does not reference the Mashiach. So, once again, I don't know what he's talking about, and I believe he's simply adding words to his sources.
Yeah, pretty much. What did you want to say, Jason?
Nothing. It was nothing.
All right, let's go on.
Right. Let's see.
Paragraphs in his treaty to describe who the Messiah is, to debunk this idea that Muhammad is written about in the Torah, specifically in Deuteronomy 18. Okay, now this idea.
Why is he? It sounds like he's sweating already.
Go back to the text now. Yeah.
I'll post the text. I'll post the link to the text afterwards. You guys can all read it for yourself. It's called the Epistle to Yemen by the Rambam. He wrote it in the 11th or 12th centuries. In Deuteronomy chapter 18, you're saying, I didn't cite verse 15. I cited verse 18.
He did not cite verse 18, by the way.
Again,
your brethren is 15.
He quoted. I think he was quoting you.
Yeah. He was saying that he did not cite 15. He cited 18 when he said your brethren, and that's just wrong.
Okay.
Again, this is your ignorance of the Bible. This is your ignorance of ancient
text. Even though I never made the claim that this is what the Rambam says it's Muhammad. The Rambam says it's non-Jewish prophets.
The Rambam doesn't even. The Rambam just says really just says or mentions prophets in general as well. Like he doesn't. His point about the Rambam saying it can't be a non-Jewish prophet, doesn't exist. The Rambam doesn't say this. Okay, the Rambam says the complete opposite of what we just outlined in Hilchos Yesodei Torah, really chapter 7, verse 1. I don't know. So once again, he claims you were misunderstanding ancient texts. You can't understand rabbinic texts without adding words to them, does it? Really?
I mean, it kind of sounds like. See, the way I see it, if you were doing what he's saying you're doing, which is you're trying to prove that it's talking about the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, then there are plenty of other Jewish sources post-Islam you could have appealed to, but you're specifically appealing to anti-Islamic sources just to prove that it's talking about a non-Jewish prophet. So the point isn't that it's talking about the Prophet Muhammad.
But it doesn't say that it's not talking about a non-Jewish prophet. That's the thing.
What I was going to do is I was going to show him that in non-Islamic sources, it's going to say that it's talking about a non-Jewish prophet, and then move on to the post-Islamic sources, which explain the ideas of how the similarities occur and all this and all the details. But he refuses to answer this one question because it's a giant essentially jump for him, because he would have to then admit that he was wrong previously, which Jahil Jai, you will see that he doesn't do it. By the way, might I add, keep an eye on this guy, because this guy, his name is Jason Bourne, right? After a while, he leaves, and almost a quarter of the chat begin changing their name to Jahil Jai.
I don't know what else it could, how you think. I don't know how you could think that that's a valid argument. In the original text, it doesn't have the chapter divisions or verse divisions. It's all one long thing. The scroll
that's irrelevant.
The Hebrew text, it's not divided.
I'm making a list of the non sequitur things he says so far. I have two non sequiturs.
You know how easily that argument can be used against Christians who appeal to Isaiah 52.
Of course. I want to point out something as well, that this can also easily be used against him, right? So the thing is, right, is that we see if he's trying to say that the entire chapter, or first of all, that would mean that the entire Torah, that means that the entire Chumash is connected without breaking. No, there are breaks in the Chumash. I don't know what he's talking about. Secondly, okay, I could literally just say, right, let me go back to the beginning of the chapter, right? Go just the beginning of Deuteronomy 18, okay, in the Masoretic text, right? You'll literally see, okay, let me read it out in English. Save time. Hold on. There we go. I'm so sorry. My phone's format is currently messing up my screen. Okay. It says, right, in the first verse, okay, of Deuteronomy 18, this is a continuation of the last verse of Deuteronomy 17, okay? And this is the first verse of Deuteronomy 18. The Levitical priest, the whole tribe of Levi, shall have no territorial portion within Israel. They shall only live off the Lord's offerings by fire as their portion. If he's going to claim here that because it mentions Israel in the first verse, and then it starts saying essentially, they later, therefore it must be referencing the Israelites. Once again, couldn't I just say as well, because it references Levi, it would also only be referring to a prophet from among the Levites? But that would be absolutely nonsensical. But no, that's fine, because the Torah, the scroll in of itself, has no breaks. See, once again, that has no binding. That is like that. I mean, you can make an argument about breaks in the text or about connected verses, right? Or continuations of the verses. That's fine. This is not relevant. This idea about scrolls is not relevant. If you want to see actual, essentially how actually, like the scrolls themselves would, and it would actually come into play the way that, formats would work, right? You can look up how the Masoretes, for example, observe the scrolls and organize their scrolls, or you can essentially look at more ancient scrolls such as the Ketafino manuscript, which once again, the Ketafino manuscript was simply put to help preserve the Torah, the Diktuk. That was the whole point of the sort of the manuscripts in ancient Hebrew. They were not as, essentially stylized as the Torah scrolls of today when they were officialized under the Masoretes and under the Yemenites.
Chapters or verses. So, of course, 15 is related to 18. It says, the Lord your God will raise up for you a prophet, verse 15, from your midst, which I asked you, provide me anywhere.
He lied. He says, oh no, I didn't cite Deuteronomy 18:15, but bring me an exegesis on Deuteronomy 18:15. We're not even talking about 18:15, dude.
Bible, where from your midst, or from your brothers, from your brothers, anywhere refers to anyone outside of Israel, according to all that you have desired of your Lord, the God in Horeb, and the day of the assembly, saying, let me not hear the voice of the Lord again, nor let me see his great fire anymore, lest I die. And the Lord God said to me, what they have spoken is good. I will raise up for them a prophet. So of course it's related. You can't just take verse 18 in isolation of verse 15. So the challenge still remains. Show me anywhere in the Torah, anywhere in the entire Hebrew Bible, where the word from you, the phrase from your brethren, or from your midst.
Fallacy here, and instead of proving what he's talking about, he just deflects the same question I asked him back to me.
There's no point in repetition. I want to point out something. There's no point in repetition, okay, if it doesn't actually have a meaning, okay, that is separate from its original verse. Remember, it is a principle in literal, legitimate understanding of the Tanakh, right? That every single verse has a meaning that is unique from every other verse which precedes it, right? Or that is unique in a certain way, has something different to it. So there's no point in repetition for the sake of repetition. Also, where does from among your brethren refer to people outside of Israel? I don't even necessarily disagree. That's the thing. However, we can understand that for your brethren doesn't have to refer to people who don't come from, by origin, non-Jewish nations. Remember, a Ger Tzedek is still Me'ach Yisrael, is still from the brothers of Israel. And a Ger Tzedek is a convert.
What do you think so far, Jason? What are your thoughts on this guy?
I think he's a genius.
Hagon, yeah.
I mean, we haven't really got to the juicy. We're barely through this.
One outside.
Wait, I gotta ask. Hang on, real quick. Like, is this
What's up?
gonna be like a 4 or 5 hour upload of us going through this thing? Because it's like 2 hours.
No, because halfway through, some issues with moderations happens. I'm just gonna jump over that part completely. It's gonna be me showing you like the most highlights of the debate where actually something happens. Because for the majority of the debate, وَقَسَمًا بِاللَّهِ أُقْسِمْ بِآيَاتِ اللَّهِ.
Because I mean, it's already 45 minutes long.
Yeah. So for the majority of the debate, أُقْسِمْ بِآيَاتِ اللَّهِ is just him constantly avoiding the question. Right. And I'll point it out. I'll show you where he begins avoiding the question, and I'll show you where I repeat him once, and that occurs for about like an hour. Right? I'll skip that entire part, so we just cut through the time here. But let's go on.
And until you address that and say you can't do that, I'll move on to the next point and show you why this certainly cannot refer to Muhammad.
MashaAllah, show us.
SubhanAllah.
Exactly. Literally, show us. Because literally, you're citing Igras Teman, right? He thinks that the Rambam's point in Igras Teman about not being Muhammad, which I completely agree with, piously, right? As a Jew, I piously agree with this opinion for the Rambam, especially in this case, right? But his point, right? He thinks that the Rambam's point about Muhammad not being prophet is magically going to refute the statement that it's also can be a prophet from non-Jewish origins or from a non-Jewish nation. Like, it doesn't connect. Nothing in Rambam's midrash, Rambam's midrash, any sort of pirush that he had on Deuteronomy 18, right? Nothing says that the prophet either can't be non-Jewish in origin. Nothing says that, or really. So for some reason, he's acting like the Rambam is just going to come back from the grave and start editing all of his works to agree with Jai. Like, what is this?
Let's go on and see what other nonsense he says.
I know he went over the time, and you gave me extra time, but I just want to end it there because I want him to respond. I don't want him to have an excuse.
I'm going to ask you guys generally. Wallah, if I didn't address any of his points, please tell me, okay? But I'm going to ask a question first. Did he address any of the points that I made?
He tried to, but he addressed it with points that you didn't make, and then said that you made these points.
Right. So non sequiturs. Now here I point that out, and then I reissue my question to him again. Here we go.
So specifically, what I'm asking you is, show me anywhere in the Hebrew Bible where "from your midst," "from your brothers" refers to anybody outside of the children of Israel. Go ahead.
This is one of the most. I just want to say, this is one of the most futile things I've ever heard. Because, first of all, Rambam calling the Prophet ﷺ a madman does not negate everything else that he said.
I point this out. See, I told you I point this out.
If I call you a fool, and then I say, well, what he said regarding this is correct, that does not mean that I negate the fact that you said something that is correct, Jay, although you are a fool, right? That doesn't change the factor. Now, we can take a look at multiple other people, such as Shimon Bar Yochai as well, and other individuals such as him that also agree with this understanding. Now let's take a look at VC chat here.
And I point out that other scholars like Shimon Bar Yochai make a distinction in the understanding of these words. That they say this does not refer to Muhammad; it refers to a non-Jewish prophet. Although Muhammad is certified as part of Ishmael's covenant, right? And here.
I want to point out something too, by the way. Rabbeinu Bechaya literally says, right, in Deuteronomy Chapter 30. So Rabbeinu Bechaya is one of the foremost commentators of his generation. Rabbeinu Bechaya ben Asher Rabbeinu Hashem, literally in Dvarim, Deuteronomy Chapter 30, verse 7, okay, mentions, right, that essentially the nation of Ishmael will be reunited with the house of Abraham, and the Arabs will become just as the Jews and will follow the same covenant as the Jews as well. See, but we also see, my point is, right, is that we see a tying in of Ishmael, right, in the same general vicinity, right, as Deuteronomy 18 in relation to, in relation to prophecy, for example.
Because since you failed to cite anything that the Rambam said in regards to 1818, I will cite it myself, right?
Let's see. This is where I get the commentary that Rambam did, right, to show him.
read together, shall we? Although Deuteronomy 18:18 describes the future arrival of a prophet like Moses, it is actually doing everything possible to make this impossible, considering the centrality of Moses' role as a law.
See, I point out Rambam directly said that it's talking about non-Jewish Israelites. Actually, 18:18 is a restriction that was added to make 18:15 almost impossible, right?
Yes.
Deuteronomic warning that no expansion of contraction of the Deuteronomic law is permissible. Deuteronomy could not really have envisioned another Moses arriving on the scene, even if it stops short of saying that no other Moses like prophet could ever arise in where?
See, I point that out to him. I tell him, arrive in where, right? And he doesn't answer this, right?
This is also, before you continue, Diego, this is where I start saying please. This is why I started saying please. What you're about to see is why I started saying please when I mentioned Diego's name.
Look,
Bonamchi.
We love you, Diego, by the way.
Assalamu alaikum, I'm back.
Jihadist,
I think so.
jihadist,
what's
jihadist,
up, bro?
Greasy Gangster wants to come to the Zoom, shall he?
Was it gangster?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Just send him the thing. Yeah, sure. He can come in and watch it.
Okay.
Let's keep looking here, right?
In where, Jeff?
It says Israel, right? That's what I want him to read. I want him to read. And look, notice this. Notice his silence here.
I want you to hear, everyone in this chat, I want you to say it yourself. Where does it say? Could ever arise and where? Jay, speak. I'm allowing you to speak, to take a little bit of my time and interrupt me. What does it say? Ever arise where?
Jihadist.
See, this is the part. This is Diego's highlight.
This is
where he
why I
says,
said please. What you're about to see is why I said Diego, please. Like, go.
You have 2 minutes, so use it up as you wish, but don't.
Right.
Okay.
That's fine. I'm giving him full permission to break it. Where does it say? Could ever arise where, Jay?
You stop using your time, right?
See, I never said I stopped using my time.
You stop using time? Did you stop using your time? You say from giving a full permission to break it. Did you stop using your time? I'm the moderator here.
Yahoo.
I'm the moderator here. Okay. Diego, no offense. I'm literally just repeating. Diego, you can't, if you're watching, okay? You can't get mad at me for doing that. Those were your words. All I did was quote you. Please don't
as we saw, Jihadist wasn't saying you can have my time. He's saying you can interrupt me to read this thing.
I'm the moderator here.
Yeah.
No, let me utilize my minutes. I'm telling you, he's allowed to interrupt me for this instance to read the specific word out in front of the public. Yeah, so he can embarrass his stupidity in front of everyone.
Hey, hold on, come on, dude.
Here? No, Diego.
Slide, come on.
Now watch this. Diego ruins the entire conversation.
Yeah.
He makes it a train wreck. He makes it look like 2 trains colliding. That's what it sounds
Exactly. Jihadist wants him to. He clearly, distinctively says that. Yeah, you can interrupt me if you want, but he's silent, and then Diego just comes in and ruins the whole moment.
Okay. Here's the thing, right? I found out later on actually that they were these Shamunians. I call them Shamunians, or
they are.
Since his name is Jahil Jai, Jahils, right? Jahils.
Yeah.
These Jahils come to each other, and they were essentially just saying, "Hey man, listen, no, we can't let him do this." Right? Now let's watch here, right?
My time.
At this time, by the way, the VC chat was like going crazy, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
My time.
No, I'm a moderator, dude. I'm a moderator.
I'm the moderator, guys.
I'm the moderator. Listen, I'm a moderator, dude. I'm not gonna let you do this. Yeah, I'm a moderator. We can't go over time anymore. I'm a moderator. Yeah. Did I tell you I was a moderator? Yeah. So you're surrendering your time. I just want to let you know again. I'm a moderator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're acting
I know that giving permission is not the same thing as yielding, but I'm a moderator, man.
Yeah.
Like, you can't.
My guy is acting like this is a professional debate.
So I'm allowed to do this. Come on. All right, so I'm gonna give him 2 minutes because you already agreed that you're gonna.
You already agreed. Hey, Jihadist, you already agreed that you seceded your entire time. You never said just this one question. You agreed to secede your entire time. Right?
Dude, come on, dude. I'm a moderator, dude. Like, come on, man. Come on. Like, I'm sorry. Diego. Diego, if you're watching this, you can't get mad. These were your words, okay? Just like do not get mad at me, okay? And hey, anybody else who's watching this who's from the roasted vegetable server, literally none of you can get mad. my debate with Mr. Shamoon, right, with Sam Shamoon, okay? Remember the things y'all did, okay? Just keep that in mind when you try to chastise me for doing this. Now continue.
All right, let's continue on. We're not gonna do this. I said specifically to interrupt me for this specific segment to answer what this is saying. If he refuses, that's fine. I don't want to say what this word says. If he doesn't want to say this word out loud, I will read it for him. That's all I'm asking is just to say this word specifically, if he wants to.
Okay, I'm gonna give him 2 minutes, and we're gonna continue.
We're gonna continue.
It's gonna take 2 minutes to read it, I guess.
I ask you, Billah, my God, was this fair in any sort of scenario?
No.
I'm gonna give him 2 minutes. Give him 2 minutes.
It's a biased mod. You can't.
No, he.
Yes, because you don't get to control this conversation, dude.
I'm not
Come on.
control. I'm allowing.
Yes,
You're
yes,
trying to control it.
I mean, you already went overtime.
You already went overtime.
Like,
Come on.
I'm trying to be as fair as possible. I gave you like 4 minutes instead of 2
This is
minutes.
too funny, man.
I'm trying to be as fair as possible.
I have the timer right here. You've interrupted me halfway.
No.
What the hell? The timer said literally like I had like. Well, I don't like I had a bunch of seconds. I had like 45, 56 seconds left, right? And he says, "No, your time is over." Right? Now it says here.
No, I'm the moderator, dude.
No problem, Diego. If he doesn't want to continue, I will continue with my words.
Jihadist. I'm gonna give him 2 minutes, and then after his 2 minutes, you get 2 minutes. That's the format that you agreed upon. Come on. Okay.
Yeah. I haven't finished my 2 minutes. What do you mean?
Yeah, yes,
it seems like
did.
you are now.
You already went overboard. Come on.
All right, fine. No problem. Here. I secede because I was just gonna tell an admin to come like replace him as a moderator because the guy was doing a crappy job.
Yeah. Quote of the year. I'm a moderator.
I'm the moderator here, bro. I'm the moderator. Okay. You kind of ceded your time when you said he has permission to do something. So like, sorry, bro. I'm trying to be as fair as possible right now.
Come take over this debate. Who's on agnostic this time?
I'm not being biased here, but
I'm not being biased, but I'm just gonna force you to secede your 2 minutes, even though you did not do that.
Yes.
Please mute your mic before I do it. Before I do so, come on. All right.
What did he
Okay, thank you.
Hold on.
So,
Hold on.
First of all, what he
Hold on. Did he just say? Mute your mic before I do so. Come on. What's wrong with you? What do you mean? I'm gonna mute you. Oh my God! What are you talking about? Hello.
he's setting.
Nice voice acting, man.
This is gonna go on at 21 minutes. I'm gonna go over way to 1 hour because this scenario is gonna repeat itself for an hour.
Bro,
Like,
Jihad,
what's up?
bro, the moderator, the first one, was kind of biased.
Yeah, it's horrible. You can see it. The thing is, Diego
Yeah.
was angry that I uploaded this video because it shows like his dishonesty.
What do you call it?
He
In
requested.
In chat, he was saying shit about you too.
Yeah, listen. The thing is, I told him he was in the VC, right? And I said, okay. No, he was in the text chat. And after I uploaded that video, he went and typed. He said, "Jihadist, can you please recommend me to the administration team so I can get a promotion?" No, I'm not gonna do that. No, if you're gonna be a horrible moderator, why would I do that?
He's biased.
There's not. It's not from the Rambam. It's not. He didn't give any citations or anything. This is a commentary. I challenge you to
Yes,
post
that's
this.
the whole point. Rambam was not a person who did exegesis. He did a commentary, and I specifically said I'm going to cite Rambam's commentary.
Source for that because that's not the Rambam. I'll tell you why. The reason why I told
That's
you
not
that
the Rambam now. Now he just disqualified the entirety of what Rambam said.
that Maimonides said that Muhammad is madman or majnoon, not to be irrelevant. It's directly related to the point. He's literally calling him a madman in the context of Muslims making the same silly claim that you're making. You're saying Muhammad is in Deuteronomy 18. Muhammad is in Deuteronomy 18:18. He's responding to that, and he's saying Muhammad, this madman, whom they're trying to claim is in Deuteronomy 18:18. He goes on to refute that at length. And you asked him, you asked me to show you a citation where he says this is about
You know what this reminds me of? This is like when you give an argument for God's existence to an atheist, and they're all like, "This is nonsense. It doesn't prove that He's all loving or merciful." Like, that wasn't the point,
Bruh. Bro, I started
It's
laughing.
like when you're describing Prime Mover and the atheist finally concedes and says, well, this isn't proof for a Jewish God or a deist God or a Hindu God or a Christian God. That's the point.
The only thing we're trying to do is establish that he's non-Jewish. That's it. Why is he going into all this other stuff?
And the thing is, yes, I made that as the form of argumentation in the beginning, but I was going through a line of syllogism, right? I was telling him that, okay, well, here it says that there are non-Jews, and I would go, and the conversation is supposed to, evolve, right? But that's not what's happening. What's happening is that he's just saying, Maimonides said he's a madman, so therefore you are wrong. It's not referring to non-Jewish prophets. Yeah, and then this is the second thing that he said, which made me laugh, is that every time something occurs, Diego would just hop in and just go like, "Dude, listen, dude, I'm the moderator.
I'm the moderator. Come on, dude. Dude, come on, bro." That's not cool.
Yeah,
okay.
you trying to prove your point? Him.
Hey, don't interrupt me. Don't interrupt me. I'm the moderator. Don't mute your mic before I do so. Okay.
Hey, Diego is how old is Diego? Because I can't imagine.
Yeah. Who? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
It's just that I can't imagine that he's gonna respond too well to this.
Look, he said he's I know he's around like 14, 15. I know he's under 16, that's for sure. And he said like, I remember like at some point in the text chat once he told me like, yeah, I have big fights. I fight all the time. I'm the tough guy. I beat up a 5th grader. I was like, what?
I just wanted to ask that because I want to make sure he's at an age where he doesn't respond to this immaturely. He understands this is criticism.
No,
Diego, once again, right? I know how you respond to criticism of things that you like in the past, right, Diego? Like you're disappointed in people. Diego, we are quoting you, okay? Zoe, you can quote me and mock me all you want. It's happened before, Zoe, right? Don't get mad at us for this. Once again, you cannot be mad. Okay? Now let's keep going.
Maybe he'll cut this out and make it into a video. Into like one of these videos that he said. Hold on, let's continue.
Watch this. I'll give you the quote. I'm actually gonna give you the source here. Unlike jihadist, who's madly googling things, nervous, talking fast, doesn't have any idea.
What are you talking about? Jay, Jay, I know you're going to see this video, right? Listen, what do you mean? First of all, you can't like observe his monitor, unless you have like some kind of, unless you have some kind of like spyware. How are you observing his monitor? Secondly, Jay, the way you're talking, it sounds like you're sweating. It sounds like you're nervously sweating. Like you sound like meat, which is a bad thing. Nobody wants to be meat, right? Like you kind of used to be. Yeah, you sound like a nervous sweating. Okay, Akhi, calm down. Calm down.
He even, by the way, like if we go back into the video and the footage of whoever's watching, you could just go back at the footage and hear his keyboard click-clacking. So I don't know who's he's saying. He's typing.
Yes, I noticed that.
Yeah? It certainly was not me.
I'm going to actually provide you with a citation. Here's the citation. Moreover, another notion is conveyed with the words, from the midst of thee, from thy brethren like unto me, namely, he will be one of you, that is, a Jew. You appeal to my...
Where does he say one of you? Hold on!
Liar.
No. Hold on. I want to read out every single citation right now. Okay. Where is he referencing the Rambam here?
No, he references this is the dishonesty that he's doing. We're talking about 1818 and he just doesn't stop talking about 1815. And when I tell him, why are you talking about 1815, dude? He goes, No, I'm not doing that. I'm talking about 1818, guys. Namely, and then he says, Rambam says, namely one of you. Okay, so
where does this hold on? Where does it say namely one of you?
Yeah, it doesn't say that in any even
it doesn't say that in the Rambam. Hold on. Doesn't say that in the Rambam, doesn't say that in the extra commentary, doesn't say that here either. No. Let me just check one more time. No. That doesn't appear from. It says from among your brothers, does not say mainly from among one of you.
When he spoke Hebrew to you, I have a genuine question. When he spoke Hebrew to you, did he have a proper accent or
His
anything?
accent, his pronunciation was fine, but his accent was not there. But that's to be expected. It's fine.
Yeah. All right. Well, at least that's good. At least now we know he speaks Hebrew. Certainly can't speak English because he just doesn't get what I'm saying, and certainly can't speak Arabic either, which we will see later on in the footage, by the way.
No,
Maimonides. You appeal to Rambam, not me. Maimonides himself says that it's a Jew.
Where?
So you have no idea what you're talking about.
Where? Where?
أين اليهود؟
I can't find it.
أين اليهود؟
أصغني أنا خيابة أتذكرتك لما تقول أتذكرتني بالصدق أنا مبكشتك עוד פעם למה אתה לא יכול לתן לי את يا ماي جاد את הפסוק בספר
هو مجنون جدا.
أصغني
هو مجنون.
What is this?
هو مجنون
No,
جدا.
how do you speak Hebrew so fast, man? I can't like.
It's not even.
Dude, haven't you heard Jahil Jai, dude?
All I'm asking him is to show me where it is. That's what I said to him. I literally just said, can you show me? Please.
By the way, Raham, haven't you heard what Jahil Jai said? Jahil Jai said if you speak fast, you're obviously scared and sweaty.
Yeah.
So that means, you know, I mean,
you could be angry and sweaty.
I mean.
So he's insulting Ben Shapiro, technically.
There's something anyone that speaks fast, to be honest. I mean, honestly, he's just insulting everyone. This includes, by the way, Sam Shamoon, because I could show you multiple clips where he's speaking fast.
Yeah.
Right? David Wood, which multiple times he can speak. By the way, I'm pretty sure, like, after this video, he went and got spanked by Sam Shamoon. That's why, like, he sent us an entire, like, transcript as to why we shouldn't upload the video. And I just he sent it to Raham, right? Raham, he sent you that, right?
I know I don't think he's here.
He sent it to Raham, yeah. I'm pretty sure he sent it to Raham, and it's basically like, guys, no, please delete the video. We're only here to spread the word of... No, I'm gonna upload it, and in this video, you will see him saying, I dare you to upload it. And I did.
Well, if you're only here to spread the good news, right, then why are you debating this? Because I don't think he mentions Jesus in the entirety of the debate, right? I haven't heard the word Jesus, like, slip through his lips.
Yeah, I think he's just trying to disprove.
Apparently, spreading the good news is no, it's not
spreading the good news is preaching against Islam.
Yeah, hey, that's their religion. Listen, that's these people's religion. It's not even Christianity. Let's keep going.
Just yesterday, actually, he said, "I want to debate." He said, "I want to debate you." Listen, this is something funny, and I did want to mention this. Yesterday, he came and he said, "I want to debate you on the immorality of muta." And I said, wait a minute, I'm not even a Shia. Why are you asking me about this?
Because they think that Sunnis must accept muta because Muhammad did it or something. Yeah. Come on.
And I said there's a valid ikhtilaf. So either way, we'll end up agreeing. Like, even if you are right, I'm just going to switch over to the other opinion that the valid ikhtilaf has. And then he says, no, dude, I don't care. You're going to have this debate or no? And now because he doesn't want to debate me, he got his friend Ariel to do it. I told Ariel to message me if he wants to debate. Till today, by the way, he still did not do it. So
Jay, remember this verse. Like Jay, hold on. Jay, if you're watching this, right? Remember, this video is not personal. Okay, I still would wish to debate you. Yo.
I think it's like a lot of these people, unlike a lot of Muslims, they see debates as an opportunity to get into a fight with someone and humiliate them and embarrass them and look super awesome and well researched with all the stuff you know in your argumentations. That's the way they see it. So like, even if there's nothing to debate because we agree, they're still gonna want to debate you on it.
Yeah, once
he literally said, I don't care. I want there to be literally in his quotes, I don't care. I just want there to be a debate between you two. So I told him, you're literally just now asking to debate for the sake of debating. I'm not gonna waste like an hour of my time just debating for the sake of debate. I don't care if you guys want to believe something that just isn't true and say, well, immorality of mut'a applies both to Sunnah and Shia. That's entirely up to you. That sounds like a you problem. Right?
The funny thing is that whenever Jay talks in the debate, the chat just spams like busted, like
Oh, yalla. Yo, have you ever
Hey.
been on roasted vegetables and have you ever had like a dialogue with somebody while a large number of people are in the VC? It's like their favorite word. Like they get like a rush of dopamine and they say, "I'm busted. Like, oh my god, you people actually, some of you people need therapy. Like
when the Muslims began firing back and calling it, like, here, look, I will scroll down. You see all these comments?
Yalla, yeah, they started claiming that you started deleting comments. It was one comment, by the way.
Let's look here.
And
Let's
you
look
did
here.
a filter.
This is, you see this, right?
Yep.
Okay, good. Now let's go to the second one over here. Okay, let's put that here. This is what he sent Raham. Right?
Yep.
I'm not trying to be insulting, because I know you look up to these people, Mac, Jihadist, Ibn Anwar, Ijaz, but it's not worth uploading recordings of these debates of these guys, because we honestly do not find them challenged. Okay, you are daring me to upload the debate. And then it says, if we record debates and upload them, we want it to be fair and between people, and between people who know Islam well and that can actually represent it. The only reason why I'd record would be if I know the other side is recording and there's a possibility they would not release the full unedited recording. I did that. Then I would record and upload it. But by the way, he was basically, I'm guessing he was bluffing the entire time because he didn't record anything.
Here, we are not here to embarrass people, but to try and show the truth of Jesus in the best way that we can. Why debate over Mutta? Why debate over Mutta then? What is the point? It's because you people use this as a tactic.
Because Jesus said, love thy neighbor. And you can't love your
Jesus.
neighbor. Because, no, the point is you can't love your neighbor if you do muta. So, yeah.
It says here, but it's honestly no feat to embarrass. I don't know who's he referencing here, because it sounds like a lot like he's referencing himself. It says that I would record and upload it, but it's honestly no feat to embarrass someone on Islam or Christianity that has no knowledge. Islam, I wasn't the one defending Christianity, so unless he's calling himself them. And just to prove this is Jahil Jai, because he changed his profile picture and name to try and hide, I capped him in another server saying this. Yeah?
Let me erase this. Hold on.
They are deleting comments, and I'll explain why momentarily. So I deleted disingenuous comments, and I'll show why. It says, Ariel says, pulling a Muhammad hijab. And then he said, look at this. Look at what Reflective says. Just went on 3 accounts at J. 100. Got you, brother. Right? So they went on alts just to spam the video. Right? And it says, Lul, you guys are great. Thanks. You guys are great.
Yo,
thanks.
I also asked him about this. Hold on. I actually asked him about this, right? And like he said that, no, I was just like thanking them for support. Reflective, is nobody. He doesn't do anything, right? Like that's what he said. In fact, I could probably, yeah. Like, and Akhi, what do you mean? Like, you just don't even denounce it for some reason. Yeah, I reported him on 7 accounts. You didn't even denounce it. What do you mean you don't want this debate down? Stop trying to cover this up by waffling. Akhi, just be honest. If you were honest, this would actually be much more easier. Like, nobody would criticize you this much if you're just honest. I don't want the video up for X, Y, and Z. That's it. Nobody would be criticizing you right now.
I do give credit on Ariel for having good manners. Sure, no problem. I do give this man credit. But let's take a look here, right? Reflective. Hey, man, we here. Or we could mass report it just to get it removed. Report wars. Who's down?
Oh, yeah, by the way, immediately when the video was uploaded, they started literally mass disliking it.
Yes,
and
21 dislikes and 10 likes.
No, I know this for a fact, because when the video was uploaded, within the first 2 minutes of it being up, and I literally was with Jihadist the moment that it uploaded, within the first, minute or so of, the first, 2 minutes of it being up, I immediately see somehow 7 dislikes just, machine gun into the goddamn dislike bar. Like, what do you mean? You people are not. You people are just showing your dishonesty. Well, it's nonsense.
Unfortunately, we need for them, their dislikes couldn't keep up.
Of course, I'll be right back.
What I ended up doing, the likes eventually went above the dislikes, so that's good. But what I decided to do is, for the meantime, I just removed the like and dislike ratio, because I think at this point, I think it's abundantly clear. And if you take a look here, there you go, you can see. I can open the analytics and show as well. Right, but 197 views. Majority of them are from his server. And over here it says, I explain what's the context of what's happening. I said, here, your own brother makes excuses for your faith at your behest. And then look at what he said. Nobody reported you. Reflective is a newbie, right? This is a Christian man speaking, David Julie. I don't know why he's insulting his own Christian friend. And the rest of the comments are just calling him Jahil Jai.
Let's go on with the debate.
Whoever is David Julius, you can scroll down. He literally just started. Here, go into the replies. Here, hold on.
That's probably
Go-
reflecting himself.
No, hold on. Scroll down. All right, hold on. Yeah, there we go. That one. He randomly just starts putting. Yeah, he randomly just starts putting like random things that he finds online that he's obviously misinterpreting. Saying that we need to do this and this and this in Islam. Now, click read more on his comment.
Let's open these websites first.
No, wait, hold on. Wait,
Let's
before you
debunk
do,
first.
before you do, just click read more in his comment. I want to point out something. Click read more. Now, listen, spreading Islam by force. Hold on. Killing apostates. Just don't burn them like Adi did. Ambushing villages, killing people, shouting Allahu Akbar. I don't care. Hold on. Assassinating people who insulted him. So are these not all things the church did? Are these not all things that Christianity caused? No. Yes. Literally. Like, I reply, and you can see my reply to this. Once again, you can't account for all the conquest done by Christians. You've been waging jihad. Ali, that's you.
The thing is, you're Jewish, so it doesn't even. So they know that they don't know who they're talking to or what YouTube video they're watching. They're just sent here, and it says here, look, I have a challenge for you. It's a movie.
I've seen that movie.
Oh yes, it's by NT Authority. Yeah.
Yeah. So listen, NT Authority is not a bright human being. I'm just going to leave it at that. He's not very bright. Now you can click. Don't worry, it's not an IP logger. It's a very suspicious link, but it's not an IP logger. Don't worry.
OK.ru/video.
Yeah, it's very sus, but it's not IP logger. Don't worry. Even though it's a very suspicious link, which you could have just uploaded it on streamable.
YouTube. Hello, you are on the platform.
No, because it contains beheading. It contains beheading and everything.
Okay, sure. Well,
I'm pretty sure it's talking about the context of war.
Here, you know what I'm gonna do? Here, I'm going to promise them this right in front of everyone. Wallahi, right? I will make a direct commentary on this video, upload it to the same website he did, and I will literally just go on machine gun debunking everything that's in this video.
I will go with you.
Now here over here, I'll literally I'll just machine gun debunk everything that's been said. Right. First of all, he sent Bukhari the entire chapter of the military expedition. So I don't know which one he's referencing. I'm removing that. 56. The entire chapter of jihad, which again he didn't say.
Hold on. Let's look. Hold on. Let's see. Hold on. Wait. Before you click out of that, go back. What did he reference for this chapter? Spreading Islam by force. Okay. Press Command V and then type in the word convert. Okay.
Is this the one?
Okay, hold on. Let's read.
Let me check the numbers first. Let's check the numbers. Does he mention 295, 2940, 2943, 2945? Doesn't mention that. Okay, 29.
Okay, so converted me to Islam. But I want to read this. Hold on. By Allah. Hold on. By Allah, I remained low and was sure that religion would be before. Still, Allah converted me to Islam, though I disliked it. Okay, so he's using that as conversion. Is that what is for by force? Is that what he's using? I assume it is. Okay, so though I disliked it, it's called compulsion. Annie, compulsion is not force. That person could literally. What do you mean?
But by the way, it says Abu Sufyan added, "By Allah, I remained low, and I was sure that his religion would be victorious. Till Allah converted me to Islam, though I disliked." This is Abu Sufyan admitting that he disliked. Yeah, he disliked the religion that was actually true. He literally admits that it's true. I remained low. He admits it. I remained low. Essentially saying, listen, I was an idiot, and I was 100% sure that his religion would be victorious. Basically saying that it's true, right? Till Allah converted me to Islam, though I disliked it. He said he disliked the religion itself. That doesn't mean that you don't convert to it. For example, Paul hated Christianity. He still converted to it. He disliked it. Right, but he's still converted to it. That doesn't negate anything. Now let's go to here, 29:43. Whenever Allah's messenger attacked some people, he would never attack them till it was a dua. By the way, narrated Anas ibn Malik. He obviously does not know the context of hadith. He's talking about battles. If he heard the adhan, he would delay the fight, and if he did not hear the adhan, then he would attack them immediately after dawn. We reached Khaybar at night. Okay, what's the issue? I literally don't see the issue here. Right? Where's now here? Let's see here. The Prophet set out for Khaybar and reached it out at night. He used to not attack if he reached the people at night till the day broke. Yeah, because they're sleeping. So
See, this is direct. This is literally contradicting to what he said. Yeah, let's hear.
They want to make that look like some type of foul warfare when you wait for the enemy to get their rest.
Yeah, we waited for them. We waited for them to get their rest. We waited until they woke up. We waited until they gathered their swords, and then we had a fair fight, and we won. Still, all you're saying is that you are so weak. You now also you say that it's bad that we should have given them even more, right?
How dare he let them sleep? It gives them a false sense. It gives them a false sense of hope. That monster.
So when the day dawned, the Jews. This is talking about the Banu Qurayza that lived in Khaybar, right? The Jews came out. I think, I'm not sure. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think this is referring to either Banu Qurayza or Jews that were living out in Khaybar, right? Yeah, Jews that were living in Khaybar. Yes, so let me correct myself. Jews that were living in Khaybar. The Jews came out with their bag and spades. When they saw the Prophet, they said, Muhammad and his army. The Prophet said, Allahu Akbar, and Khaybar is ruined. For whenever this right here, this is not. Where does it say? We just attacked them? It doesn't say we attacked them. The Jews came out with their bags and spades. That means they left the city because they knew that Khaybar was going to be destroyed, right?
Yo, jihadists, you know what's happening here? This happened to me a lot of times when I've dealt with these people. Is that they come into Islam, studying Islam, thinking something bad about it. In other words, they have a confirmation bias, and so they Google whatever their favorite anti-Islamic outlet is that gives them the sources that they think supports that bias. And what's so funny is when they argue against you with their sources, you can tell they didn't even check them. Like they'll be all like, "The Quran says you can lie according to this verse," and the verse is just talking about fighting people who betrayed your treaty. It doesn't in any way support what they're saying.
But this is them leaving the city. Yeah, where does it say the Jews were attacked? It doesn't say they were attacked anyway. They came out with their bags and spades. They were leaving the city. When they saw the Prophet, they said, Muhammad and his army. The Prophet said, Allahu Akbar, and Khaybar is ruined. Yeah, because the citizens are fleeing. All that's left in Khaybar is now what? If all the Jews left, and these were the only Ahl al-Kitab in Khaybar, what's left in Khaybar?
The Israelites?
No. People who aren't Ahl al-Kitab, yeah? People who have idols and other garbage.
Hebrew Israelites.
Right? Yeah, or people that betrayed him.
Hebrew Israelites.
Right, and it says here the Jews came out with their bags and spades. They left the city. Hello, the Jews came out. They left. There is no Jews anymore in Khaybar. And he said, the Prophet said, Allahu Akbar, and Khaybar is ruined for whoever, when we approach a nation to fight, then it will be a miserable morning for those who have been warned. So we didn't even fight them, and we won. Well, where's the? Let's see what he said. Ambushing villages, killing people, shouting Allahu Akbar.
I mean, at first I just assumed he was talking about modern day terrorists, but then he gave a link to a hadith. Like,
so where does it say? Where does it say ambushing villages? We waited for them to sleep. Ambushing villages. Yes, we ambushed them by waiting for them to sleep.
That is the antithesis of an ambush. The whole point of an ambush is it's a freaking surprise attack.
Yeah. The thing is, we did not even they woke up and they came to us. Where's the ambush? They came to us, they saw us, and they said, "Hey, it's Muhammad and his army." And the Prophet said, "Okay, you all fled the city. I didn't even do anything. I just sat outside."
But no, look, that was all part of his plan. That was part of the ambush plan.
Is this like a conspiracy, like JQ question, but for Muslims?
We can't run with these people.
Yeah, the JQ. All right, Yellow, let's continue. Because
I'm going to dismiss the rest because he's just literally linking entire things that I honestly I'm not going to go through each one.
People who will be all like, Islam supports raping Indians, and then he gives a link to a Wikipedia page that talks about some guru who had nothing to do with Islam. I'm like, dude, did you look at any of the sources you're using?
Yeah. And these are the only two specific ones he posted. It has been narrated on the authority of Abdullah ibn Umar. The Messenger of Allah said, Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, I have been commanded to fight against the people till they testify there is no God but Allah, that Muhammad is the Messenger of Allah. And they establish prayer and pay zakat. And if they do it, their blood and property are guaranteed protection on my behalf, except when justified by law. And their affairs rest with Allah. What's the problem? He's saying, I've been commanded to fight against the people till they testify there is no God but Allah. Yes. if you're, that's the whole point of fighting against the polytheists. What do you think? We fought them what? Just so we can fight them? And
Yep, that's actually why they think. Well, I mean, let's be honest. It's actually why they do think that's why polytheists are thought. Yeah. I think we should continue though.
I will. And this one, I'm just not gonna address. The apostasy thing is just easy to explain. It's literally treason, man. It's not that difficult. This man is silly, right? I'm gonna watch this later, but the rest of the comments are all Jahil Jai. No here.
Stay away from Maimonides. He's not your friend. Stay away from Deuteronomy 18:18. It debunks Islam. Okay, now. And
you notice how heavy his breathing is? Look, I'll scroll back. Listen to how he breathes. Yeah?
He's literally calling him a madman in the context of Muslims making the same silly claim that you're making. You're saying Muhammad is in Deuteronomy 18. Muhammad is in Deuteronomy 18:18. He's responding to that, and he's saying Muhammad, this madman, whom they're trying to claim is in Deuteronomy 18:18. He goes on to refute that at length. And we asked me to show you a citation where he says this is.
Notice how his breath becomes. Yeah, just notice this.
I want to make this point too. Why does he keep going on about you claiming Muhammad was in Deuteronomy 18? This was never said.
It's a syllogism. He doesn't understand.
Said by jihadists. You are taking something that he didn't say out of the presumption that because he's a Muslim. That's why you people need to stop.
That's why people were calling him Jahil Jai, by the way. But
I'll give you the quote. I'm actually going to give you the source here. Unlike jihadists who provide you with a citation.
What?
Here's the citation.
What?
Another notion is conveyed, namely, he will be one of you. That is, he's himself, not your friend. Stay away from Deuteronomy 18:18. It debunks Islam. Okay,
it debunks Islam. Hold on.
You heard his breathing?
I can't.
What is this guy, man?
It debunks Islam. It debunks Islam.
We have to agree with this rabbi.
Oh my God! It debunks Islam. This one verse, it debunks Islam. Wow. Deuteronomy 18:18 saying that the prophet's going to come. It debunks Islam. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Literally, what are you talking about?
You know how you can tell that they're evangelicals that don't understand anything? First of all,
Islam.
Hope and faith. This is his fans, by the way. Hope and faith, 777. Only evangelists say that. Yeah.
Okay.
And
because
Deuteronomy chapter 30.
They believe like the number of the devil is like 666, and that 777 is like the antithesis. It's like it's like watching a Marvel movie instead of like reading about a religion. Right?
We're going to stop it with the number 7. Gematria is definitely not divination. Jesus.
One of them, I'm pretty sure one of these people posted in Jai's chat. I recall one of the, if I'm not mistaken. It had a similar name to this person right here, Hope and Faith 777. Posted like that the Monster energy drink is a satanic enery drink.
Yeah,
because, like it had Jewish.
They say Volv means 6. Gematria, bro. Look at the Gematria. Yeah. Let's keep going.
34, which what you were citing actually refers to. This is hilarious. You keep citing passages that refute what you're saying. In Deuteronomy chapter 34. Verses 10 through 12, it says, but since then there has not arisen in Israel, that's the word you want to say, in Israel, a prophet like Moses, whom the Lord knew face to face. One thing, the prophet like Moses knows the Lord face to face. Second, and then the signs and wonders which the Lord sent him to do in the land of Egypt before the Pharaoh. So the prophet like Moses, and by the way, let me know on my time when the time's up. The prophet like Moses knows the Lord face to face.
If you time it, he spoke for 3
Why do you keep talking about the prophet?
And he does signs and wonders.
Hang on a second. The prophet, like Moses, he knows God face to face. In Islam, we actually do believe that the prophet did have a personal face-to-face connection with Allah. Like he could.
Hence Miraj. Hence Isra wal Mi'raj.
I do make that argument. You will see that later on, where he tries to say that it's a dream, right? No,
what is
like Moses?
Yeah, it says it's a dream, and I show him like where Tahawi said it's not a dream, this is all real, and he goes, he still has not provided the evidence. Now here, let me take a look. Yeah?
He does the mighty works that Moses did in Israel, but yet it says there hasn't arisen a prophet where in Israel.
Is debunking himself.
That's the last chapter of Deuteronomy. See, that's the last chapter of Deuteronomy. Those were literally
he's trying to connect that to Deuteronomy 18.
Written by Yehoshua bin Nun, Allah Shalom. What do you mean?
This is the most base thing I've seen. Is that in the middle of the debate, the sticky notes that like debunks the entirety of Hinduism is like in a sticky note.
Who is this? Wait, hold on. Who made this? Who made this?
It's brother Raham.
Oh, Raham. Oh.
Yeah, I recorded this video.
Is the entirety Hindu?
Entirety of Hinduism is debunked in like one sticky note.
Hey, wait, hold up! Oh my God, that's where I. Yo, that's embarrassing.
That moment, hold on. Yeah, you just casually need to debunk Hinduism by flashing.
No. That's not what it is. It was about you see where the Shirley Ali is, right? That I was trying to debunk a Shia.
I see. No, it's not. Listen, it's not embarrassing. But actually, it shows that you are an individual who's engaged in research, right? You're trying to find the antithesis to what is being said here, and that's perfectly fine. That is normalized. I think Sam Shamoun said way more embarrassing things. He literally acted like a madman for like 5 seconds in a video.
I can't believe we don't have psychic in here, but yeah, go on.
So the prophet in Deuteronomy is expected to be in Israel.
How do you know?
Okay, I think that this is what his argument is. He said, we haven't seen a prophet.
First of all, a prophet like Moses. Wait, hold on. I want to mention something. This prophet is going to be like Moses because this passage in the last chapter of Deuteronomy says so, even though it doesn't. See, there's no correlation. I'm not saying that there's no correlation, right? But there is no evidence to suggest that same prophet, okay, the same prophet that's talking about, it says in Israel ever since there's been no prophet like Moses who has been risen. Now I want to see, hold on, I want to check something before you continue. I can make my point. Hold on. Just one moment. Okay. Yep. There we go. This is just as I thought, right? So the thing is, okay, the Hebrew in of itself, right, says "V'loikum novi oid b'Yisrael k'Moshe." Okay, that means and never again, right? It says "loikum" or never since then, right? Or so the words "loikum," right? There has not arisen or stood, right? Novi meaning prophet, and then oid b'Yisrael again in Israel or still in Israel. And it says K'Moshe. The prefix, the prefix kaf right there, essentially means like or as in essence or in style, right, to Moses. But we see, okay, that essentially in 1818 the words K'moini, meaning like me, are coming from the word Kemo and not using the lone prefix, right, the lone kaf prefix. Now, what I see this as, it's an implication, okay, that when he was saying, okay, that you shall heed him, there shall arise a prophet like me, right? You shall heed him, okay? Or there shall be, it'll be a prophet who, arises from among your brothers, right? And you shall, and like me, you shall heed him. We see with the word K'moini, okay, there is an implication which essentially leans more towards the likeness is that you shall listen to him and that he shall be a prophet and that he shall only speak the truth, not that he is a prophet who even comes close to bearing the amount of essentially nevuah and the importance of Moses essentially as a prophet. So even again, this point doesn't. It has a weak or non-existent basis that he's making. So let's continue.
It is a point because the way I see it, what he's trying to say is the prophet. It said we haven't seen a prophet like this in Israel. Conclusion: the prophet must be in Israel. That sounds like what he's saying.
God. Yeah, it's silly. In here and Aziz, are you be able to moderate around with instead of Diego, you and Aziz, because I think Diego's now doing a horrible job. Yeah. Now, as I was saying,
sorry. Assalamualaikum.
Look at now. They get so salty. Yeah. Watch this.
If I could just say, so I actually have another call. I was supposed to have a call in about 10 minutes, so that's why I declined to moderate. But I can listen in for a few minutes until I have to leave. So I apologize for that.
I'll moderate. Don't worry.
That's fine. Sin will moderate instead. Yeah. All right, Diego. Now you're off, right?
All right. Wait. First, can I know who's doing?
Yeah, it's Sin is now moderating. Yeah, because Diego.
Okay. Whoa, dude, you're just switching the moderators halfway through the debate.
Yeah, because they're being biased.
Yeah, I sent you something in Discord, so everybody.
I think you're just saying that because you're not the moderator, bro.
Bro, listen, I'm the moderator. What I say goes.
Right,
I'm switching it with a pagan, right?
Yeah, but okay. First of all, First of all, Diego's being okay, dude. This is your problem. You debate about debating more than you actually do the debates.
You debate about. Listen to this. Wallahi, legendary phrase. You debate about debating instead of debating about debating.
I think he said, "Do you debate about debating more than you actually do the debate, or something?"
Well, that doesn't even. Yeah, this is, how do I debate if I'm not doing debates?
Because he's a moderator.
Maybe so through some mystical way is because he's the moderator. That's why I don't debate. Why I debate the debates of the debaters. But let's go
debate.
So we're not going to do this again. We're not going to go through this again. Let's continue in the format. So Sin or Diego who wants to do it.
Okay.
We're doing 2 minutes each. That's the format we agreed to.
Okay. All right. Sin. 2 minutes each, please.
That's it.
So
that's why
It's myself, Jai, and Jihadist.
That's why I said
And we're doing 2 minutes each.
Okay, both of you 2 minutes each. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. So he's going now 2 minutes, and then I'm going 2 minutes.
Now look, they replaced the moderators and essentially I'll issue my challenge again because seemingly that it was right. I hear I issue my challenge again, and then I think right. My challenge. Let's try this.
Sir, talking about Deuteronomy 18:8.
Look, even the moderator now, the unbiased moderator. When I brought a pagan moderator in, he's not Muslim, he's not Christian, he hates both of us severely. This is what he has to say about me challenging him to bring the exegesis forward. Answering this question, and instead just goes.
Would you like to answer Jihadist's question? He's asking you.
I don't even know what he's. Okay, what's the text I'm supposed to be reading?
I don't even know what's going on, guys. I don't even know what's happened. That's literally what Jay's response is. Here.
Talking about Deuteronomy 18:18.
Yeah, but what's the text that I'm supposed to be reading?
I want you to read this, right? I will post the source afterwards because you said this is not the Rambam, which I will, when it's your turn to speak, I'll be glad to show that you are wrong. It says here, even if it stops short of saying that no other prophet like Moses could ever arise in where? What does that word say?
Israel.
In Israel. He finally says it, right? This is what the legislation seems aimed at accomplishing. Okay. So we can now learn from. So I explained to him what it means, which I was trying to do the entire time. But let's forward here where Sin has to forward up an exegesis, or force him to essentially get an exegesis. But let's go over here. So to find where Sin. This goes on roughly back and forth about the exegesis.
Verse 15 is about the Israelites because this is your.
It's not that difficult, Jay. Now I have to resort to calling you to the level that you stoop to. Exegesis, please. I have this recorded, Jay. Why are you embarrassed? This is literally going to be posted everywhere. You just contradicted yourself. Right. Now, once again. Yeah, after a while, he just kept on repeating the same thing and contradicting himself, so I put that out. If you want to prove your point is correct, Jay, instead of dodging and jumping around like a fish and trying to act like an expert on Arabic, like an idiot, but not being able to, I'm going to repeat the question again. If you are correct in this sentiment, of which, by the way, you struggle to even translate into Arabic and danced around like a monkey, it says, Deuteronomy 18:18, from their brethren. I pose this question again to you. If you are right, it's that easy. Exegesis. Now, it's not that difficult, Jay. Now I have to resort to calling you to the level that you stoop to. Exegesis, please. I'm not allowing you to change the goalpost again.
Okay, and time.
Okay.
Turn.
So the word I say
he dodges it some more. Dodges.
Thank you. If it's talking, just don't know the language, the original languages, and I'm thinking.
Okay.
Words. It seems now you're getting salty because my Arabic is superior to yours. And call you gentle.
Okay. All right.
Calm down. Don't get excited. I have to say to him, he's just going to keep repeating the same points.
You're repeat this again for you, okay? Ilayhum are two different words. It seems gone rusty. I'm not going to do that because I love Isa ibn Maryam. Look what he says. Look. I just want to show you, right? Your Arabic has gone rusty. Instead of stooping down to your level and insulting it. Now,
that's all.
Look what he says here about Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
Say to him, he's just going to keep repeating the same points. The audience can judge who answered the questions and who is the fool. Don't interrupt. Yeah. Don't get excited. Calm down. Don't get excited. Now you can talk.
Hold on.
What is this?
Jihadist. And the audience judged. And what did the audience come to? The audience came to 64 results of Jahil Jai.
This is the thing, yeah? This is the funny thing, is that he says, No, don't get excited. Don't interrupt me. He finished with his. I said, now talk. What is it? Are you a child, man?
He's
This
a
is so.
moderator.
Oh, he's a moderator. Yeah, I forgot. How can I forget? Listen, this is your. I end up laughing at his stupidity, and then I point out.
Okay, Jihadist, let Jai finish.
He did. He just said I can talk, right?
Okay,
So
all right. 1 second.
Now, there's a new name for you, Jay, right? We're all going to call you Jahil Jai, okay? You're the new Jahil Jai.
That's how it was. It's now born as well as Jahil Jai.
Jahil Jai.
Now, listen, Jahil Jai. I'm going to repeat this again for you, okay? Ilaykum or ilayhum are two different words. It seems now you're getting
I'm saying alaykum and ilayhum are two different words.
salty because my Arabic is superior to yours because you've been sitting in America for so long. Your Arabic has gone rusty. Instead of stooping down to your level and insulting Isa ibn Maryam.
Where's the part where he insulted Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam? I want to show that part here to everyone.
Your brethren, the same exact words. So that's all I have to say. You just proved the point without even realizing it. That's your ignorance.
Stopping. Okay, I'll reset the time. Your turn, Jihadist.
Realistic verse 18 is not referring to thank you for proving. Thanks on the point. So thank you for proving that this 18 is not the same word. And here, which means 15.
Yehudi, please. Yehudi, are you there?
No.
Yes.
Yeah.
Listen to this.
About the Israelites, because this is your ignorance of the original languages. In verse 15, when it says from your brethren, it says ma'achecha, which
what?
I don't even know Hebrew.
I'm gone.
Hold on. Bro, that's not
Can you hear me leaving? Can you hear me leaving? Right? Can you hear me leaving? I'm gone.
Yeah.
Come back.
I
don't even know Hebrew. I don't even know Hebrew. I'm like, what the hell was that?
Okay, me'achecha. Okay, me'achecha. Right? You can pronounce this that you can either. Here, I will go through all the various pronunciations you could use. Okay, I'm gonna do that right now. Literally right now. Right? Here. Hold on. Give me a moment. There we go. All right. Hold on. Here, you could literally go through, right? Me'achecha, right? Me'achechu, right? Or if you're Yemenite, me'achecha. I can't pronounce Yemenite that well, so forgive me. I think it's me'achecha, right? Me'achecho, right? Those were, at least just to name a few, one of the various ways you could pronounce me'achecha from your brothers, right? Not me'achecha, achi. You could just do like a little fumble, right? I will not judge you for just fumbling a little bit, but achi.
No, it gets worse. You think it's fumbling. Listen to this now.
which means from your brethren. Verse 18, from their brethren, achechehem.
Wow.
The same words.
Listen, hold on. Listen, and this is not pre-recorded. Okay, this is not scripted. That reaction was not scripted. Okay, so Jai. Within a second, you have made me, all right, going from thinking that was a fumble, okay, and which I can forgive. Everybody can forgive that, right? Even I fumble sometimes when speaking Hebrew, which is completely fine. You can even judge me for that, right? But, of course, or even when reading English, for example, right? But when you do the same mistake twice, especially if you have, like, the thing in front of you, which I assume you do if you don't come to me, DM me, correct me, have somebody DM me, whatever, right? The word is achehem. Not achechechem. Where are like the six other nekidas, the six of the nekudot in the modern Hebrew pronunciation, Ashkenaz nekidus, right? Or Ashkenaz Glitzianis nekidus. Where are like the six of the nekidus and like the three other letters you had there? Jai. Okay, so you can pronounce it achehem, right? Achayhem, okay? Those are the two ways you could pronounce it. Not achechechem. What? Achechehem?
It sounds like you said achechecha.
Yeah,
achechecha. To take this from someone who's been reciting and reading Arabic for most of his life, which is a Semitic language, very close to Hebrew, that sounded so retarded.
Achehem, right? Achehem, okay? Achehem. Not Achechem. I'm sorry. Jay, really, wallahi, uqsbillah. I'm sorry.
But I'm sorry. I'm just sorry. I don't. I'm sorry.
You have nothing to apologize for.
I'm sorry. No, it is. I'm sorry.
It's such a now do you still believe I don't think he speaks Hebrew. I think he just learned a factor of how to speak Hebrew.
No, what he said to me in Hebrew, what he said to me in Hebrew is that he can understand it well, he just can't speak it well. That's what he told me, which I didn't know you did. I don't know if that's true, but
I think it's true. He just kind of proved it.
Which is fine. It's whatever. I don't think he ever claimed that he can proficiently speak Hebrew. Like, and that's fine. Even the stumble is fine as well. But
I told him,
thing, you know.
What I told him, this is why I told him I don't think he even speak Hebrew properly, right? And then he proceeded to speak to you in Hebrew to try and like show off, and knowing that nobody else understands.
I don't know. I don't think so. I just think
because he said he.
What the crap was that?
As much as he did.
We're still live, right?
Huh?
I'm still
recording.
Okay, good.
Wait, hang on. You're gonna like edit this, right? So I can just give you the.
Yeah,
video.
we have to edit out a lot of this. So we're gonna have to edit like more than half.
So like, I'll just send you the file, and you can edit it yourself.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, once again, I'm sorry. Really, I am sorry.
It's like an hour 45 minutes. Right?
Okay. Yeah, I can give you a Hebrew. I can help you with some Hebrew. I can give you.
Show
some Hebrew
everybody what I just sent you on Discord.
Here, Jai.
I'm screen sharing, so I can't do that right now.
All right, let's go. Let's play.
All right, so let's see here.
Word that you said was referring to Israelites is referring to them, the same group of people. In Hebrew, just it's very similar to Arabic. When you have that pronoun hom or hem in Hebrew, it's referring to back.
What is the plural for brothers in Arabic? So brotherhood is ikhwan, right? What is the plural for brothers? Is it just ikhwan?
Yeah, it would be ikhwan.
So what is he talking about? Akhi, please, once again, it's very similar to Arabic. Hevanti, we know the etymology is very similar, but
this stuff hurts your brain. Wallah. It just hurts. I need help. I don't view this as a debate anymore. I just view this as that I have endured. I have done what Christians think Jesus did. I have endured all the pain and suffering, right? And crucified all my brain cells for the sake of everyone else. Yeah, so everyone else doesn't have to have their own brain cells all destroyed.
Well, we have to. We're Peter. We're being crucified upside down.
In Arabic, you can say ikhwan or ikhwatun.
Yeah. Now, let's go on here.
To that group of people, it's using the same word. You just embarrass yourself by reading the translation that
Really? I don't think so, Jay. I'm not the one who said the
Yeah, I agree. Not after Achichehem. Not after Achichehem.
I don't think this isn't going anywhere anytime soon.
Yeah. You just embarrassed yourself, bro. Now I'm gonna go ahead because this doesn't address the point. I'm gonna skip to the part where sin has to force sin.
Okay, that's all I have to.
At home, dude. Jihad.
Pius was getting salty that people were changing their name to Jahil Jai.
Have no commentary or exegesis interpretation right now.
As long as the
because he can't get his way. No, don't interrupt. Let me talk.
Pius now getting salty.
Let him talk.
Time. All right, your turn, Jai.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
No. You cannot continue the debate when there's no boundaries at this point.
See, even Pius is saying that Jay is just there's no boundaries for the debate because Jay is not actually appealing to anything right at this point. And over here, we'll keep going forward. If you watch the full video strictly without switching, you can find where Sin has to constantly tell him, dude, listen, can you please answer the point, right? And send the next. He sent a philosophy book. He sent something totally bizarre. Which here, let me find the video. Right. Actually, I'm gonna try my best to find it.
So using this argument is nonsensical. Specifically, I posed to him one question. I'm requesting from the moderator to extend it because he asked 3 questions that require.
No. I asked one question for you to address in this time period. The question is if you can read verses 15 to 18.
Hold on, let's see because I said once again.
2 more minutes.
And choose on center.
18.
For now, since I can't remember the rest of the question, let's go for now with jihadists. But how with jihadists? Why don't we just address the stone argument?
Look. This is what he tells me. Yeah.
That's to never any.
But
okay.
issue so far. What I've been told by jihadists that your argument is still not exegesis and contextual sense. So maybe you could get if you could get the passage from Michael Brown and put it in the area where he discussed that as an exegesis and not an argument, but an exegesis.
Hold on.
That would be great.
Hold on. Did he just say get the passage from Michael Brown?
Yeah, because I extended to him. I told him, look, even Messianic Jews, just get me an exegesis. And I knew he couldn't find any Messianic Jew exegesis.
Okay, fine. But I just think it's kind of sad how your last resort is to appeal to a Messianic Jew.
Yeah, I literally told him, even a Messianic Jew, you could get from a Messianic Jew. And the thing is, the funny part is that even Messianic Jews don't have exegesis on the Old Testament because it's not accepted by Jewish scholars. So it all gets rejected. And look what he does. He sends me a blog by Michael Brown.
I'll address with jihadists. And since you want to give me a list of your qualms or your questions for jihadists, how about we just go for now with jihadists? Why don't we just address the stone question for now, since I can't remember the rest of the question.
Look, he tried to bring up the black stone now for no reason. Like, he's trying to change the topic and everything.
The piece of heaven. This isn't an issue. We don't worship the stone. In fact, the stone has been lost for multiple times. We didn't care.
This is me talking about the black stone. Yeah.
Even the Kaaba itself, you'd think the black box, the box itself is holy. No, it's not. The box has been destroyed multiple times. The area is holy.
That is true. The area where the Kaaba itself is located in is what's holy, not the bricks on the Kaaba, because those were interchanged multiple times.
Right.
Yes. But in terms of
like even in the 1980s when Jahil attacked Mecca and he took over the Kaaba, we didn't just stop. We just started doing tawaf outside of the Kaaba because we didn't care if it's black rock.
How are we supposed to do Hajj if there's no black stone to kiss? Nobody did that.
Yeah, nobody says that. Yeah, I show him a hadith where Umar directly says, "Listen, man, I wouldn't even have touched. I don't care about this, so I wouldn't even have touched it. It has no power to harm or benefit me. I only do it because I saw the Prophet do it."
Right? The father thing that you brought up. First of all, to Moses, it didn't mean that the father had a literal son. It means that all the Jews are children of God. That's literally what modern Jews believe today. And you still have not provided that exegesis. We will continue asking you for this exegesis in every line of questioning, and I will answer your questions as well.
Now, we keep going forward. Now, I want you to notice the names, yeah? You'll see something that's very funny begin to occur. Now, if we keep going...
Look at it and describe it. Is that from our understanding is that we would disagree with them on that. We just say that, no...
this is the Q&A sector. I received majority of the questions. He received one, and they were from his own follower.
But
no,
I got a question. Please write it in chat.
Now, look, some person asks him he genuinely wants to answer a question. Yeah, and look how he responds to him.
Yeah, but
let's see.
The sun appears, and then the whole understanding.
Okay, 1 second. Let me scroll back. I missed the one.
And dawned over from Seir, and then shone forth from Mount Paran.
He answers one question.
Hold on. What is he talking about Deuteronomy 33 verse 2? What is he talking? I want to hear what he says about Deuteronomy 33 verse 2.
1 Samuel chapter 15. And this is where Edom was. So he fled from Edom to Egypt, and he passed through Midian, and Paran was on the way to Egypt. So it's all in that location of Egypt, northwestern Arabia, probably modern.
Hold on. Is he citing this from Jewish exegesis or Christian?
Christian exegesis.
Okay, never mind then, because Jewish exegesis says something similar, but not the same thing.
Yeah.
So, not really even similar, even. What am I saying? But yeah. Go on.
Jordan, but definitely if you're trying to say that this is some.
By the way, geographically, even Edom is not. All of it is not in modern day Jordan. It's not the entirety. It's just like northern Jordan. Midian was actually just the majority of most Jordan today.
Yep.
We're near Mecca, nowhere even close. If you just look at a map today, you look at a biblical map compared to our modern map, look at where Mecca is today, and then look at a biblical map where Edom
He told
was.
them about Mount Selah, and they said Mount Selah is in Edom.
Nope. See, here's the thing. I want to point out something. This is why, honestly, this is why the Rambam was so right. The thing is, right, is that both the mountain in Mecca, right, was called Selah, right, not in biblical times. We can't find any evidence it was called Selah in biblical times. Nor can Es-Selah, right, in Jordan, okay, be found to have been called Selah in biblical times either. The word Selah just means rock. It doesn't even have to be a name. It's not even translated as a name in the actual translations, right? It's just translated as rock, right? May the dwellers of the rock exult, for example, right? So this whole controversy about Selah, right, is completely irrelevant when you actually just look what the Hebrew word means. No need to waffle with trying to name a mountain in Jordan. No need to by the way, which the mountain in Jordan, even in and of itself, the last time I checked, is actually biblically in Midian, not Edom. Secondly, listen, that mountain, we can't find any evidence it was called Selah in biblical times. Just translate as rock, because that's literally what the word means. Bon Amshich.
Edom is in northwestern Arabia, which would be modern day Jordan. So that's where these locations are: northeastern Arabia and Egypt.
Okay.
And it's
northeastern Arabia and Egypt. So now they're in modern day
Arabia.
So now it's modern day UAE and Egypt. He walked all the way from the UAE to Egypt.
Wait, hold on.
Right.
Hold on. Let me just get a world map here, because this is clearly a groundbreaking discovery. Because I did not know that. Let me just.
No, bro. No, bro. Obviously, obviously, Edom is the UAE.
Hold on. It appears on my map. That Jordan's actually northwest of Arabia, and not northeast. Beseder. It's all right. Let's continue.
Muhammad, nothing to do with Muhammad, because it says this is the Lord coming from there. Unless you want to say that Muhammad is the Lord, then you just committed shirk.
No.
You just committed shark, by the way. You committed shark the fish.
You committed
shark.
You just committed shark. Hold on. No. You just committed shark? I'm a mushrak? Not even a mushrik. A mushrak? Am I a mushrak or a mushshark? Okay?
Listen, man, you committed the shark. Yeah.
The mushrakin, the mushrakin of Quraysh. Not even Quraysh, not Quraysh. Quraysh.
You're one of the mushirakin.
The mushirakin.
No. I get. Listen, no, I get Jahil Jay's now logic now. He said Selah means rock, and to his head he said mushrak, mushy rock, Selah, mushy rocks. Yeah, you're all mushy rocks.
It's like I lost a son. The reason why he said that. Okay, so that entire sentence, if you want to say Muhammad is the Lord, you just committed shark. It's like I lost a son. I feel like I lost a son. I don't know why. It just feels that way. The thing is, right? One can themselves, right, be bringing the word of the Lord, okay, going around bringing the word of the Lord and be called the Lord. Why do you think God is called the Lord of hosts? Do those tzivos just do nothing? The word hosts means armies, by the way. Do those armies just do nothing? Do his malachim, his angels, just sit around and do nothing all day? No. They're called the Lord because they are literally carrying around the word of the Lord. That is, you just committed shark by calling Muhammad the Lord. Yes, what is wrong with you? Do you have any idea of how nevuah, of how shlichus works?
No. Obviously, the Lord literally walked out of that mountain because he's living there. It's such a ridiculous belief. By the way, look at the chat. Yeah, look at the names in the chat.
You just committed shark.
No, look at the names. Jahil Jai.
Wait, I don't see them.
Look at this here. You see them in the arrow? The blue arrow is pointing towards them.
Oh yeah, Jahil Jai.
Yeah, people began changing their name to Jahil Jai because he was saying abundantly ridiculous. There was even a Christian that called him Jahil Jai. But anyway, let's get back to where we were, 206.
You just committed shark, the mushrakin.
Probably modern day Jordan, but nowhere even close. And locations are northeastern Arabia. We're coming from there. Unless you want to say that Muhammad is the Lord, then you just committed shirk and you said that he's God. I'm sure you don't want to do that though.
Okay, is that your
That was
answer,
his
Jai?
answer to my exegesis question, by the way.
That is nothing. Okay, once again, we've already established how the concept of shlichus, by the way, meaning like the status of being an emissary, right, works. Okay, that is how the concept works in the Hebrew Bible to the point where even the Christians recognize this. Secondly, we committed what again, Jay? Go back. What? How did he pronounce his beautiful tajweed? Okay.
Nothing to do with Muhammad because it says this is the Lord coming from there. Unless you want to say that Muhammad is the Lord, then you just commit shirk.
Oh my God! What is this?
You have committed shirk.
Listen, the mushrikeen, not the mushrikeen of Quraysh. Listen, we have to completely correct our tajweed. Not the mushrikeen of Quraysh, right? It's the mushrikeen of crotch. Okay. Not.
Listen, don't you know Battle of Badr was the Muslims against like a giant group of sharks?
Yes, exactly.
In the desert.
Yeah, in the desert.
Yes, the Mushrikeen of crotch. Listen, the Mushrikeen of crotch fought the Muslims at the Battle of Badr, not Badr. Badr.
The guy just does not speak Arabic. And here, let's go on. Yeah.
Akhi, hold on. I want to say something.
I'm sure you don't want to do that.
When you're watching this, right? You cannot make a video criticizing Muhammad Hijab, who is from Egypt, by the way, for his Arabic. When you pronounce shark, if you pronounce shirk, right, as shark. Akhi, shark? What do you mean? Exactly. All these question marks. That is exactly what I'm thinking. What do you mean you just committed shark? You mean shirk? You are supposed to be the one who critiqued Muhammad Hijab's Arabic in reference to whether or not something was a Quranic miracle of science. Akhi.
Just committed shark, bro.
I'm sorry for being such a mushy rock. Not a mushrik, a mushy rock.
I'm going to cut this and show this. I'm going to send this video. Wallahi. I'm going to cut
Send it to Muhammad Hijab.
Send it to Muhammad Hijab where he says you just committed shark. Yeah?
You know that Jai made a video criticizing Muhammad Hijab's Arabic, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. Now clip those two things together. Yallah. Bismillah.
The thing is, Muhammad Hijab speaks Arabic better than I do. That's the thing, right? Subhanallah.
Yeah.
And this guy is saying shark instead of shirk, yeah? And he says your Arabic is laughable. What do you mean? Now let's go on. Let's see what.
Okay.
That was
is that
his
your answer, Jai?
to my exegesis, by the way. Sin told him answer his exegesis question, and he just all he said. No, if I'm not mistaken, actually, I think this is the Q&A part. Yeah, I might be mistaken on that. But anyway, let's continue.
Yes.
Perfect. Okay, we got a question for Jihadist from Palindrome.
Yeah, I don't know why he called me Jihadist. And then
Jihadist. Oh, yeah, let's keep going.
The questions are all for me so far.
Which are help them. He's asking you, Jai. Seven statements that are in Christology.
Yeah. So the questioner, whoever is asking that, is just ignorant.
He asked a question. That's what he's trying to learn. Yes, he's ignorant of the fact. That's why he's asking you.
Synoptics and probably hasn't read them. But if you read Mark chapter 14,
you asked me a question and you don't know. So that's why you're asking me. But guess what? You're an idiot because you're asking me a question. Even he acknowledges that he's Jahil Jai, so you cannot ask him questions. He's too much of a Jahil to answer them.
All right. I see.
Verse 62, you have Jewish scholars and Christian scholars who are interpreting the
Christian scholars. Go back.
You have Jewish scholars, not even Christian scholars, who are interpreting this and seeing that Jesus is the historic Jesus, because according to the historic theory of the Gospels
and how I don't think such a thing exists. But okay.
Okay, so first of all, the historic theory of the Gospels and how they were written is that they weren't written by the apostles. Secondly,
what's the historic theory here? What is there?
Listen, hold on. Is he saying that the Jewish scholars and Christian scholars said that this specific verse was in reference to Jesus?
Yeah, and he called it, by the way, this is the funny part, he called it a theory. He said this is a theory, yeah? A theory, this is a Christian calling the apostles writing the books. Just a theory, bro. Yeah?
The historical theory, because they don't know here. This is my issue with Christians, right? You people base your religion off of archaeology and textual criticism. Muslims and Jews base their religion off of transmitted tradition internally. Not having external sources having to go through a bunch of documents that have been gone through by any sort of church whatsoever, central body for years, according to you, and then deciding whether or not it's valid. And these exact same people who are doing it are literally having a bias to make your religion, my religion, and all religion look like it's all copied from each other, and make it and make it all look like a bunch of biased, made-up stories. Okay, your same textual critics that you people cite regularly to prove your points about Bible preservation also say in consensus, overwhelming consensus, literally, that for example, the Gospel of Matthew was not written by Matthew, that the Gospel of Mark was a fabrication, that John didn't even exist, and nor could he read or write, etc. Yet for some reason you continue to cite them for their completely erroneous opinion on anything. Secular academics have no qualification whatsoever in religion or even in textual understanding. They come from a bias of literally just something called secular academia. That's it. That's their bias.
This is why I always say I give heavy respect to the Oriental Orthodox Church specifically. I don't know.
Because they actually believe in apostolic succession, not citing people they call scholars.
And they say, listen, the teachings contradict each other. That's fine. They're humans. Yeah. And that's what I like about it. It's not like they're arguing on the factor of like, no, listen, there isn't a single contradiction or this and that. Or I mean, it's just Protestantism is just a ridiculous belief. But here, let's go on, right?
They say that Mark was the earliest and therefore the most reliable to the historic Jesus.
Yeah, most accurate to his account. Funny thing though, Mark never says Jesus is God. Actually, he never even points to that.
Only John even implies.
Well, okay, yeah, Mark is the most reliable, but that doesn't mean he is reliable.
No, guys, Mark is the most reliable, but we need to leave Mark. So we go to John, who's less reliable than Mark, right? Who 19 years after Jesus died, right? Established this book.
By the way, John, I want to point out something. John, who only exists through his student Polycarp. Outside of that, we have no idea. Outside of one student, supposedly.
Actually, no. That's even then. It's only according to someone who's not Polycarp,
Irenaeus.
So yeah, without Irenaeus, we wouldn't even know. We wouldn't even be able to speculate if Polycarp did know John.
Irenaeus, but I correct my pronunciation. But yeah,
let's see.
Anything from him.
So
yeah, exactly. Yeah. Let's see here.
If we go to Mark and we can prove that you're wrong, then it just shows that you just really don't know what you're talking about. So Mark,
you asked me a question. You don't know what you're talking about, idiot.
Stupid. Dumb.
Is this
dumb?
Is this how Christians treat people who genuinely are curious? They're asking a question. Says, listen, man.
Yep. Have you ever been inside of Jai and Ariel's server, roasted vegetables? And Ariel, I told him, right, that his server's hated among Christians. Sorry, really, you can literally see why. Okay, they're hostile, they're rude, they literally don't address people politely. And I'm just saying, you guys are helping Muslims. Christians, you people are literally doing better dawah than any sort of dawah team at Speaker's Corner. You people are better than Farid, better than Ijaz, better than anybody I've ever met. You people are the best people at the dawah. Yani. Because every day, the way that you talk to people, the way that you conduct yourself, the culture in your online circles, okay, is so goddamn toxic and filled with the most despicable and unlikable people you could find in religious debate, right? To the most dishonest individuals who clearly only do things solely for money, attention, and like some sort of meaning, okay? Making up lies that are easily refuted within seconds by people on the internet, unqualified people, okay, who refute them easily. You people, when you do this, there are so many Christians who just flee into Islam, who just literally go away from Christianity because of how much of a joke it is. They take off the clown makeup on their face, and then they get on a prayer mat, and they get out the Quran and the Sunnah. You people gave them that. You people made that carpet for them. You binded that Quran, transcripted it for them, and then you pre-ordered for them multiple copies of the Sira and handed it to them.
And you put your autograph on. And you put your autograph on.
And you sign it. Khatum, yani, literally khatum.
The 14 verse 62. Jesus said he's being asked by the high priest, by Caiaphas, and he's asking them if he's the Messiah, the Son of the Blessed One. And then Jesus answers and he says to them, I am. So he uses that same title, Elohimi, the I am statement, and he goes on to say, "You will see the Son of Man."
Son of Man. Okay.
Okay.
I want to say this. This
What is
actually
this
makes
even
me
related to?
angry.
I'm
This makes me
confused.
angry. Hold on. This makes me angry. Every time they mention the Son of Man as some kind of special characteristic, it makes me extremely angry. The words Ben Adam literally just means son of Adam. It literally just means human being. That's all it means.
So you will see
it is
a
not
human
a special
being.
classification. Khalas.
So
I
you will
can't
see
hear
a
it
human
anymore.
being coming on the clouds of heaven.
Done.
Yes.
That's the Son of Man. Yallah. Literally just human being.
Oh,
Stop
but
pretending
that's
it's
in
some
his
kind of
that's in his human nature.
No. What?
There's like 50 natures. They just listen, man. They just did the Dragon Ball fusion dance.
And what
you know,
about,
they became one
what about
thing.
Jesus? Yeah. What about Jesus's liver? Hold on. Wait. Is Jesus a trinity? Because he's made up of organs and muscle. Hold on. Jesus is made up of joints. How many joints are there in the human body?
Approximately a lot.
300
Okay.
something, I think.
All those
300,
joints are
406
different
something like that.
attributes of Jesus' human form. Okay, so now it's more than a trinity. Now it's a joint system. Okay, then we have to address literally Jesus' thought process because his human form, right, has to have a brain which fires out various thoughts at a second, right? God does not have separated thoughts. Okay, so how do you address all these attributes? That's the question.
So hang on.
You have multiple.
This part in the Q&A, is it even remotely related to Deuteronomy 18? Is it just, hey, why do you believe Jesus is God?
Yeah, he just never answered. He established during the entire debate, and I said this publicly, that all we established is that Jai likes to talk about smooching stones and avoiding an exegesis question, and just branded the entirety of his religion as a bunch of heretics. But if that's what he wants to do, that's all on him.
I just want to comment, like, for one, the holy name of God in Exodus 3:14 is in Hebrew, yet in the Gospel of John it's quoted in Greek, and even then it's not the whole thing, even according to the Septuagint. So I don't know why you would ever appeal to that as an argument. The best argument you can make from that, even though it says before Abraham was I am, the best argument you can make from that is that he existed before Abraham, or he existed before the whole creation of the world. That's the best you can do. You cannot say he was calling himself God.
Let's see here.
He says, "You'll see the Son of Man seated at the right hand of the power and coming with the clouds of heaven." So in short, there are 4 references to divinity here in Mark, and I can go all over Mark to show you this. Whoever it is asking the question, we can dialogue about this, but another time. But the 4 references to deity here, which Jesus saying, "I am," and then he says, "You'll see the Son of Man." Go back to Daniel chapter 7, hand of the power. This is similar to a Christian Trinity. They believe in a flood of the power. In Jewish things, on the clouds of heaven,
He
clouds of
speaks
heaven.
for so long because this is only 2 questions.
According to a Jewish mindset, according to the Tanakh, is divinity. So,
Wait, did he just say to sit in the right hand of God, according to Jewish thought, is divinity?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't even think we should comment on that. It's just so dumb.
Thank you. That's the answer.
Okay, also, just to clarify for y'all who are asking me why I'm not letting Jai or asking Jai questions, it's because I'm scrolling down through the thing, and whichever question I see, whoever it's to is going to get the question. So, I mean, that's the easiest way to do it so I don't miss questions. Also, you guys, I'm going to get to your question eventually. You don't have to keep reposting them. But I'm just scrolling down because I'm not really moving. I'm kind of stuck in one place. Anywho, for Jai, alrighty, another question for Jai.
In the recording 8, Moses knew God face to face. He said, Hashem, Temunat Adonai, means in Hebrew it literally means the form of God. Temunat Hashem, Temunat Adonai, means the form of God. So no relation. Prophet 10.
And that seems to be all the questions we have. So
That was it.
All right.
There's 2 questions and like 6 guesses for me, and then let's see what happens.
Thank you.
Actually, be interested in challenging jihadists if you wanted to.
And then I get challenged by Ariel right after, bro.
To have a debate on the philosophical merit.
Let's. I'm gonna leave it at the part where he said he wants to forfeit the debate halfway.
So thank you. No, God is our Father.
One just opens the debate chat.
32 verse 6.
Quick calling.
So,
okay.
So Jesus, you are.
Okay, that's against the law of Moses.
Look at this. Look at how many people like come and
So
call
want to know the
Jahil
answer.
Jai. Hold
Like
on.
very
Jahil Jai. Now there's become 4 people. Down there's more, but
says that if you do that, Leviticus chapter a sacred law of Moses. This man,
hadith and then trying to change the topic your own way. Yeah. Well, we will.
I'm trying to find the part where I'll leave it at that. Where
he punishes you for your.
I just wanted to let Jai know.
Oh, here we go.
Moment.
Well, if Ariel's going to get banned, I'm sorry, I can't continue in here. But if Jihadist wants to come to our server, we can debate in there. And we're not going to mute him, and we're going to give him equal time.
Hey, listen,
oh man,
I'm a Christian. I
your
will say
server's
this.
so base, bro.
Send
it to me. I can look
Ariel
into it.
in
Here's
the
the user. Just send me the
So now that one of the Christians
then
can't record the discussion together. Coming over here was that all of our Christian group could be together and we could record the discussion together.
Okay.
So now that one of the Christians that I invited over got banned, I mean we can't continue the discussion.
He tried to forfeit the discussion. He literally just tried to forfeit the discussion because one dude was banned for posting like very, very rule-breaking stuff in the text chat.
Okay, well, then you want to
Jay, just message me about that. I'll talk to you over text about that. Okay.
So yeah, I mean, I'm pretty much just gonna leave it at that. But actually, here, let's leave it at this. Let's leave it at this right here. This beautiful thing right here. There we go. Let's get in real nice. All right. So, I mean, what do you think of the debate so far, Jason?
I don't know, man. Like, there's not much I can say that I haven't already said. Like, to be honest with you, if this is what went on for most of the video that we didn't see because we skipped it, then I'm actually glad I didn't watch the whole thing this morning when I saw it posted on Twitter. Because I mean, like, okay, I gotta ask though, like, before you started recording, was there something else that the topic was? Because I'm really confused as to why it suddenly went to why Jesus is God, because Son of Man.
No. So here's the thing. Every time we spoke about that exegesis, he would change the goalposts, right? So first he spoke about the black stone, then he spoke about some other hadith, and then he changed it to Jesus is God, and then he changed it to this.
So is his idea that
he would just
Deuteronomy,
change from topic to topic.
So his idea that the passage only makes sense if it's referring to someone who would be both God and man or something. Deuteronomy.
Yeah, and and instead of answering the exegesis, he would just like jump from topic to topic or try to connect his topics with other topics that have nothing to do with what I'm talking about.
I'm back.
That's real dumb.
Yeah. So listen, this is what I'm gonna leave it at, right? Listen to this, Yehudi.
Yeah.
Let's put this here to the side.
The prophet, like Moses, why is he Trojan of Quran gave to master?
You guys can wrap this up. Either. Would you like me?
No, of God, because they're following in chapter 5 the black stone. Because exactly what you just said, that Muhammad is Moses. He didn't serve the God of Moses.
Jewish exegesis.
And we're gonna
You should have had time codes ahead of time.
First of all, and why do you guys?
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to find the timestamp.
We wanted that to happen, but he didn't want to do that, so we told. Hold on. Why was Ariel banned? I just want to for the mods who.
Yeah, I have no idea. But would you? I haven't touched that. But do you want?
Wait, I need to know because the reason why this guy didn't want to come, because originally we were told this, but we were told by other people that he wanted to come to our server and debate us.
That wasn't true.
Come over here. So one of the conditions was coming.
Okay.
So now that one of the Christians that I invited over got banned, I mean we can't continue the discussion.
Okay.
He tried forfeiting the discussion because one of them was banned for posting bad stuff in VC chat. But here we go. No, let's. I said I'm going to leave it at this part right here. So, quite a beautiful picture. This is Jahil Jai's like entire brain meltdown happening post the debate. He lost it. He changed it to Jimmy Neutron. He changed his name. Right? He just lost it. Now, what do you think so far, Yehudi? I asked Jason. What about you, Yehudi?
Yalla. Listen, Jay is from a server called Roasted Vegetables. Okay, this server is full of. I'm not even saying that Jay's a dishonest person. I'm not going to call him dishonest for now, right? But this server is indeed full of dishonest people who are, of course, Christians, who solely exist and go online just to yell and scream about Muslims. It's why you saw him deflecting to Muhammad and immediately pinning the point of whether or not Muhammad was in this verse, and associating that point to be from jihadists. It's why you saw him deflecting to the Black Stone. It's why you saw him deflecting to Deuteronomy 33. It's why you saw him deflecting to all these different things that were related to Islam and had nothing to do with the topic at hand. These people, okay, like I said, do perfect dawah and help more and more people become Muslims every day. I addressed this to Ariel as well. His server is hated even among Christians because of how annoying and toxic it is, okay? And how many people in there are dishonest. Now, the server is directly associated with David Wood, with Sam Shamoon, with Christian Prince, etc. And we see just coming out of these people, right, from roasted vegetables and from them, these figures that I've listed themselves, dishonest arguments about Islam, arguments that don't try to rationally approach and essentially criticize Islam, but arguments that just try to demonize the religion as some evil force of Satan that's come to destroy the entirety of humanity and is working. And many of them actually believe that in a very literal sense, to the point where it creates a cult-like delusion. Christians, don't listen to these sorts of people. Just do your own research, do it even alongside other Muslims. Start taking from Muslims themselves and then start making rational criticisms to Islam, okay? Not deflecting to pedophile prophet, kissing a black stone, the Kaaba is an idol, No, just make legitimate criticisms, okay, and authentic and consistent criticisms that don't fall into ad hominem fallacy and don't make Islam out to be this crazy death cult when it is similar even to other religions such as, for example, the Edicts of Moses. If you, for example, like many atheists, right, view Islam and the Old Testament as the same thing. They view it as equally violent, etc. You people are taking the logic of atheists. So you're not taking the logic of Christians. You're taking the logic of atheists and applying it to Islam, and then you're taking the logic of Christians when they approach you with the Old Testament. So the thing is, I'm just saying, okay, if you are a Christian, you want to make legitimate criticisms of Islam, you can study Islam next to a Muslim. You can study Islam from other channels, right? And then if you see flaws, you can point them out. But rehashing these old arguments, which are just there to demonize Islam and to drive Muslims away from you, it's not working. And it's simply just creating a worse and worse environment for you and hundreds of other people. So please, just stop. And Jay, if you're watching this, I'm still up for the debate for Midrash and Chuma, and for the Rabbonim on Isaiah 52. And yeah.
All right. What about you, Raham? Anything to add before we end this?
Wait, hang on. I'd also like to say, subscribe.
Oh, what's up, Jason?
Subscribe. I got a channel and stuff.
Yes, subscribe to Jason's channel. I'll actually link your channel in the description. All right. What about you, Raham? Any additional things? Yeah. Oh, all right. Sounds like we're gonna wrap this up.
Oh, and also subscribe to Jihadist's YouTube channel for new daily content, i.e. nothing, but still subscribe because why not?
And subscribe to Jason.
This is like.
And subscribe to Jason.
This is like the only video I'm posting, and that's it.
Yeah, and subscribe to Jason Skywalker's channel for content. I mean, I can't say daily, weekly, or even monthly, but it'll be there at times.
And subscribe to Cross Examine to see why God needed to be a Trinity to be all of it.
Oh yeah, I did a video on that. And
shout out to Cross Examine, my favorite YouTube channel.
For all you roasted vegetable fans, nerds, I guarantee 9 times out of 10, when you actually look into these criticisms that you think make Islam look like the most evil thing since the creation of Satan, you're 9 times out of 10, you're probably gonna realize, yeah, I probably should be a Muslim. And you'll end up converting.
Yeah, you people are despicable, by the way. Like, some of you people are actually detestable. Ariel, Jay, even Jay, I'm good with you, right? But Jay and Ariel, I'm good with you too, right? But everybody else, like, in your server are just, like, despicable. And, like, in your, like, online anti-Islam Christianity crusade, like, circle, right? You people are just, like, despicable. Oh, yeah. Also, Original Sinner. Very good Christian website. We're just showing here that, we don't hate all Christians, right? very good Christian website. Okay, go to Original Sinner. Right? I don't think it's .net or .com. I haven't been on there in a while, but still very good, right? Yeah, but once again, right? Yeah, some of you people are actually detestable, though, right? I'm gonna end it with that. Some of you people are legitimately detestable. Honestly, if you want to know why, many people have actually asked me as a Jew, why should I go with Muslims, right? Okay, because the stereotype is that Muslims hate Jews. Listen, I have not seen a more anti-Semitic server than roasted vegetables. I have met people who support ISIS, right, who are actually far more accepting of Jews than the average member of roasted vegetables, and I can actually say "uksabillah" to that. I literally, yes, I can swear on the name of God that is the truth. So, yeah. Yeah, you people are not good people. Now, repent. Toba. Yeah.
All right. Oh, man. Recording done?
I'm still recording. You want to say something? And then I...
Yeah. No, that's it. That's it.
Right.
Just after Yehudi's done.
We're going to have to do a lot of editing.
Assalamu alaikum.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.